welcome to Horzów and the famous Śląski Stadium. It is the fourth and final round of the Tauron Speedway Euro Championship. Our second visit to one of Poland's most historic venues. Last year saw Leon Madsen crowned champion with a faultless maximum here. This year, injury makes him an outside shot for the title. He is, though, one of 6 riders who could, realistically, take the crown tonight. Russian star Grigory Laguta in the box seat with a 4-point margin over his nearest challenger, but there are 18 points available tonight, so anything can happen. I'm Dave Rowe. Alongside me is the former world champion Sam Ermolenko. Sam, what a great venue, what a great meeting and prospects.
Absolutely, we've had good weather on our side. It looked like the high clouds might have come and put a little bit of water on the track, but the track's got plenty of moisture in it. This is the biggest track out of the series so far, 358 meters to be exact, according to what they set up, 1 meter off the curb.
Big crowd here as well. They're looking to see what should be an interesting meeting. We've had 3 rounds so far. We've been to Germany, been to Poland, been to Denmark. There's been some great racing. Here's what we've seen so far. The season started in Güstrow in mid-July, and it was a fantastic return to the series for Grigory Laguta. We saw Leon Madsen, we saw a big crash there for Václav Milik. We saw Leon Madsen trying to defend his title and making a decent start, but Laguta was certainly in the frame, and he took it over Madsen with Bartosz Smektala in third place. Thrilled and spilled, Sam. Güstrow, always a great venue.
Oh, such a good place to go to. That's the smallest venue out of the 4. But coming back to this one here in Horzów, and you went to Tauron straight after that, and that was exciting as well. Yeah,
Tauron was a bit on the dramatic side for numerous reasons. A couple of big crashes which saw riders unfortunately ruled out for some time over and that was the big one of all, involving Anders Thomsen and Robert Lambert and Leon Madsen. But Madsen, in fact, came back and still managed to win the meeting over Laguta, so they were really tussling for the title at the end. David Balego also involved in trouble there. Tough night in Tauron, really.
Absolutely, and sometimes it's tough racing for these boys, but the professional, and they're all here to do battle again, but they had to do one more too at Voyens in Denmark, and that was a superb event.
Voyens was a great night. There was some fantastic racing all the way. It really shook things up because although Madsen was out injured, Grigory Laguta couldn't take full advantage. The rest of them came charging in. Mikael Mikkelsen out on top in the end on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a bummer Leon Madsen didn't come to the table on his home track, but still there's time to make up, and we're going to see if he can do it here tonight.
So here we are at the Śląski Stadium, and we are here for the 4th and final round of the series, and realistically 6 riders could become champion at the end of tonight. Here's how things stand. Grigory Laguta 1 point in front of Nicky Pedersen, but unfortunately Nicky not here due to injury. Picked up some nasty injuries in a crash in Poland a month or so ago. But then go down that list: Mikael Mikkelsen, Kasper Varina, the home hero, Bartosz Smektala, Michael Jensen, and even Leon Madsen, the defending champion, who missed Voyens but scored 18 here last season. So Sam, does he still have a sniff?
Well, like I said, I think he does. Leon Madsen's hungry at the moment, but you got to say just a sniff, really. I think Laguta has come here with a lot of power, and he probably wants to show everybody that he can be the true champion.
Well, the riders have been presented to the crowd here at the Śląski Stadium. They made quite a grand entrance, and Sam, you know all about the grand entrance they've been having because you were almost part of it today.
Yeah, all my buddies from the Wooch chapter, Harley Davidson there, and where I used to ride, they were participating in bringing the riders around, and I had a good 3-hour ride to the stadium myself today on them. So all the riders are pretty comfortable coming up, being presented to the crowd, but they first got to ride on a motorbike to get to that position.
Maxim Drabik, wild card. We've seen how good he is in the World Under-21 series. He can really shake things up here.
Absolutely. I think all these guys, I mean, they said the track needs to be hard-packed after 4 laps, or after 4 races, because it could chop up. It's a man-made track, so these guys had to go out here, and they all seem pretty satisfied with the way the conditions are.
Good to see the riders who did miss out in Voyens due to the injury sustained in Tauron are back with us. The likes of Anders Thomsen, Robert Lambert there, David Balego. So we've almost got the full series back again. Just Nicky, who unfortunately is missing out. So you saw Jurica Pavlic going through the shot a moment ago. He's one of the standby riders, but Balego back in play, and yeah, it should be interesting to see how they all go.
Yeah, I bumped into Balego on the track. He was one of the guys that noted the fact that they just got to grade it and he'll be fine out there. So looking forward to some good laps.
There's Pavel Szapelski, who's not had the greatest of series. Antonio Limbach, who finished second here last year. Never know what to expect from Antonio, but did ride well here in this meeting last season.
Yeah, when the track does produce good starts because it's got that kind of a sandy, moist kind of surface, and there's no doubt about it. This Czech rider here, Milik, is very, very handy out of the start, so I'm sure he can do some damage as well.
Milik's got the ability. We've not seen the form of the last few years this season so far, but again, it'll be a good time for him to do it here tonight. And Jarek Hampel, another one who we've not seen the best of in this series this year.
No, and riding at number 1, which means he gets to be first on the track after every grade if they were to schedule it after every 4 races.
Moving through the lineup, and Kai Hülkenberg involved in a big crash here in Heat 1 last year. You recall the incident with Andreas Jonsson and Andrzej Lebedev, so hopefully no repeat for Kai this season. Hopefully we'll get a good meeting. The defending champion there, an 18-point maximum here last year. He was unbeatable around this track.
Well, I think he needs to reproduce that to make sure and let everybody else make mistakes, but it's going to be a tough call for him, but who knows.
And of course, Madsen, the winner of the British Grand Prix at Cardiff last weekend as well. Michael Jensen made his first final in Boyens. He's in the frame, quietly accumulating points. What a good first year it's been too for Bartosz Schmechtala. He's right there.
Absolutely, and you got to say the home crowd will be supporting him for sure.
Yeah, talking about the home crowd, here's the local favourite. Ribnik is not too far away, and there are loads of Ribnik fans here to cheer on Barina, who made the final last year. He finished second in Boyens. A man on a roll, in good form.
Absolutely. So is this gentleman too.
Mikkel Mikkelsen, what a great performance in Boyens.
Yeah, and he's had to come back from some injuries that he kind of sustained mid-term, but on top of his game now.
So here's the man who leads it. Laguta's got 4 points over Mikkelsen and a bit more over the rest. What's the mentality when you have that lead?
Well, I think you'd come here knowing that you got to make sure everything that your game can produce has got to be spot on. The track will not to let him down, I don't think, but who's to say what the other riders are going to be thinking. So he's going to have to go out there and earn it for sure, Dave.
So here we are, live pictures from the Slaski Stadium, a historic speedway venue, the host of 4 previous World Finals. Some big stories down there over the years. The final World title won by Evan Major, the first title won by Hans Nielsen. Peter Collins was crowned World Champion here. Jürgen Sajaki, one of the big shots, but also a winner here in Horzów, and 2 Grand Prix run here in 2002-03, won by Nicky Pedersen and Tony Rickardsson. We were here last year for the final round of the series. We're back here again. The crowd are here, and we are looking forward to the action. We're all set for Heat 1.
Absolutely. I have a little bit of history as well here. In 1986, it was the first track that I came to race on in Poland in a World Championship. So it sure has changed. The surrounding areas have gone up to a high standard as far as the streets, the population, the buildings, everything's so nice.
Riders at the start line for Heat 1 of the final round of the 2019 Tyrrell Speedway Euro Championship here in Horzów, the series decider, and a big lineup here for the opening race. Jarek Hampel rides in red off the inside gate. Robert Lambert goes in blue off gate 2. Bartosz Schmechtala, a title contender, in white off gate 3, and one of his rivals for the under-21 series over the last couple of years, and this year the wild card Maxim Brabik goes off the outside gate. Big start here, Sam.
Absolutely. You got to say that Hampel's got to be thinking that everything's going good for him to be on that inside gate for the first race. We don't know what the track's going to produce as far as favorite gates are concerned. We'll need a couple races to do, but Lambert, the Brit's going to be right next to him. Look, as you already mentioned, Schmechtala and Brabik, the 2 poles on the outside. So 3 poles against a Brit.
Truck has been slightly modified from last year, trying to create some more racing lines. Krista Gardell is the meeting referee. Here we go with the 4th round of the Speedway Euro Championship. Perfect start, Heat 1. Jarek Hampel off the inside, gets good ball. So does Bartosz Schmechtala in white. He forces traffic wide. Schmechtala makes the move round the outside, covered off by Hampel. Lambert in blue trying to come down the inside, but it's the poles 1 and 2. Hampel from Schmechtala. Lambert pokes the inside, goes through into second place, gets the best of Schmechtala, who comes back off bench 4, and Schmechtala goes back through into second, challenging Hampel, who still race leads. Hampel from Schmechtala, Lambert chasing hard in third.
Yeah, they all got some good speed out there, that's for sure. It's nice that Jarek Hampel's out in front, but he's got to not make any mistakes. So those guys are right behind Schmechtala, looking really good. Him and the Brit of Lambert really battling out there for those last lap and a half or so.
It looks like Hampel just about controlling things over Schmechtala at the moment, with the Lambert third traffic goes, flings it into bend 3 and 4, trying to get the better of Lambert. Will he turn back off the fourth bend? It's still Hampel from Schmechtala. the challenge in on Jarek Hampel, but the former world number 2 did manage to see it off and race clear. Lambert with a really bold move on bends 3 and 4 on the opening lap. Smektala read it and turned back and repassed him and got the 2 points to keep his title challenge alive. Hampel winning heat 1, Smektala second, and Lambert third.
Yeah, Smektala had everything to lose really in that one, so he didn't want to make any mistakes if he possibly can do. So it's good that he ended up finished off second. It means a lot to him. Robert Lambert in the blue helmet there didn't really get out. The boys going into the first corner, was in the right position by the time they got down that back straightaway coming into turn 3. Put his front wheel right over the white line right there. That just gave him that little bit of an edge he needed. But Smektala replayed the compliment down the front straightaway of the first going into the second lap. There's a view right there of Lambert doing that throttle, holding that thing in position, but it wasn't enough for him. Smektala in the white, coming from gate number 3, wraps it up on the inside. Both these guys are brave. The track seems to be riding really well for all 4 of the riders. Jarek Hampel had a little bit of an issue, and it gave a hint that maybe the boys were to catch him, but he made the start from the inside gate and took control of that race.
So as Lambert just clipped that inner curve, that really shot the bike out, and it's quite a marked dip in the track, the way it's constructed, a man-made track, of course, and where that curve is on the inside, a real marked dip. If you go down too low, you will be in trouble.
Yeah, like you say, it's it's a bank. If you get your front wheel over, it will suck you into the inside a little bit. But yeah, Robert put his front wheel over that, and I'm sure some of the other riders will do the same. You just got to really concentrate. The way the corners are here, going into tubes 1 and 2, the apex is kind of as you're coming in the corner, so they'll build a lot of speed up when they're returning for to continue a lap. They'll have to go a little bit wide coming into turn 1, but going into turns 3 and 4, you can kind of keep a narrow and it naturally pulls you wide.
So here's heat 2 at the start line. Leon Madsen, the defending champion, back in the series after missing out in points due to injury on the inside gate. Kai Hülkenberg off gate 2, Jurica Pavlic off gate 3, and Mikkel Mikkelsen off the outside in yellow. Mikkelsen the winner in Buoyant, and starting with 30 points, 4 behind Gregory Laguta. Madsen starts tonight on 26 points, 8 behind, but as we said before, unbeatable here in this meeting last season. Here we go with heat number 2, and away. Madsen off the inside in red, makes a good start with a bumping and margin between Pavlic and Mikkelsen. Mikkelsen in third place, being beaten so far by Kai Hülkenberg. Madsen here, who race leads over Hülkenberg, with Mikkelsen in third place and Pavlic at the back. Madsen needs to race win really throughout the meeting, but pressure mode above him. Looks like he's making the perfect start here. Lovely gates off the inside. Madsen racing clear, Hülkenberg second place.
Yeah, Madsen's got some speed as well. He ensured himself the points by getting himself in front. It looked like his fellow Dane Mikkelsen was going to get across him. He's really trying to clamp all 4 riders going in the first corner, but he's going to have to settle for that third place the way it looked right there with the German Heckelback holding on to that second.
Madsen really is stretching things here in heat 2. I think Laguta will be happy enough to see Mikkelsen running a third here and dropping a couple of points. Hülkenberg in the way there, effectively in second place, and no challenge from Mikkel Mikkelsen. Pavlic off the pace really out the back, but Leon Madsen, as I say, has got to keep winning here. If he repeats last year's 18-point maximum, who knows where he could be at the end of the night, despite missing round 3. Leon Madsen winning heat 2 here in Horseshoe over Kai Hülkenberg, with Mikkel Mikkelsen in third place. Perfect start for the defending champion in heat 2, taking full advantage there of the inside gate, and really Hülkenberg did remain reasonably close for a lap or so, but beyond that, Madsen pulled clear. He's so used to winning races in Poland, been doing it throughout the season. Madsen winning heat 2, Hülkenberg a good second place, Mikkel Mikkelsen third.
Yeah, the pace is quite high. The tempo seems to be really good. Just the way they come out of that start with Madsen on the inside. He's such a good gator. Perfect start for all 4 of them. Nobody moved at all. Leon Madsen, the Dane, is right out front coming off of turns 2. Looks like he had plenty of speed as well, and that's exactly what you need. This track is pretty fast, 358 meters. It's going really well. It looks like it's holding up quite well. You just see the back wheel in the dirt. There's a couple holes right on the inside. I think that's where the guys are putting their front wheel over the inside. But Leon Madsen made no mistakes in that one. That was a clean race.
Leon Madsen off to a flying start then in heat 2. Heat 3 in Horzhov, and Anders Thompson will ride in red off the inside gate. Antonio Lindback on the podium here last season. He goes in blue. David Bellego back in after injury in white, and Václav Milik goes in yellow. Good to see Anders Thompson back after the big crash we saw in Torun earlier in the campaign. And a man in form. He got the winning ride, in fact, for Fjelstad in the Danish Super League final recently. And then, of course, immediately signed for Boyens next year as they go back into league racing. And also has got a big day in the relegation race-off with Gorzhov against Ostrov tomorrow. So Thompson, a busy boy at the end of the campaign, and could be a Grand Prix rider next year, depending on how things work out in Torun next weekend. Thompson, Lindback, Bellego and Milik for Heat 3.
All the best for Thompson to do it. That was a pretty scary crash that he had. The last time I went there was in Torun. That was we didn't really know what the effects of that was until almost the end of that meeting. But he's on the inside gate here. He's got to be feeling that that's going to be a big bonus for him. That's 2 race winners already from that inside.
Antonio Lindback way down the standing, certainly by what we expect from him. Only 13 points from the 3 rounds. We saw him come to grief in Boyens. Not a long-term injury there, so good to see him back as well. Bellego, who's been in the wall, so that's been a bruising series all round. Thompson, Lindback, Bellego and Milik at the line for race number 3. Again, a good start. Lindback in blue makes a good one ahead of Anders Thompson. Milik goes for the big berth around the outside in yellow, but Lindback has trekked clear on that one. Milik with some decent pace in second place in yellow. Thompson is third, Bellego out the back, but Lindback made a smart start there. You quite often know when Antonio Lindback makes a good start to a meeting, it normally then keeps on rolling for him. Lindback leads from Milik with Thompson in third place.
Yeah, nice move by Milik to get himself in that second spot. You can see right there the Swede Antonio Lindback is right mid-track, so he's finding that that's the best place to be so far. Milik will stay just on the inside, hoping that old Antonio Lindback will make a mistake, but he's got the pace right here in the red, though. Thompson's coming up to give a little bit of a threat to Milik.
Yeah, Milik on the track here. Made a slight mistake off the second bend. Lifted, that allows Thompson to move in. Not sure he's quite got time. In fact, Thompson takes it really wide into 1 and 2, giving a chance to Bellego. It's Antonio Lindback who's controlled the race and is stretching clear around turn 3 and 4. Milik has got second in the back as well, and Antonio Lindback is the clear winner on Heat 3. In second for Václav Milik, and third for Anders Thompson in the third race. So that's the first time we've seen a race won not from the inside gate. Really nice start there by Lindback in blue off gate 2 to get above Anders Thompson there into the first bend, and Thompson then got done by Milik round the outside around turns 1 and 2. So Antonio Lindback wins Heat 3 from gate 2, Milik in second place, and Thompson was third.
What a marvelous stadium this is, with the blue skies, high clouds, with the settings just perfect, and Antonio made no mistakes coming out of that gate 2. He just launched himself into the first corner, and as I mentioned about the way the turns 1 and 2 is, it kind of gives everybody the false security that you can come on the inside whenever you're doing full speed going back into turns 1. But AJ, I almost just called him that, but never mind. Antonio Lindback, he's just flying. He's going really wide going into the corners, and that's exactly what you got to do at this track.
You mentioned AJ. Let's have a word about AJ. Announced his retirement a few weeks ago, and a real supporter of this series, a great credit to the sport over the years. So we certainly wish Andreas Jonsson well for his retirement.
Absolutely.
Involved in a nasty crash here last year. He's had perhaps a few too many crashes over the last few years. So there's the winner, Antonio Lindback, and we, as I say, wish Andreas Jonsson well for his retirement, and we wish Linus Sundström all the best too after his big crash last week. The most recent reports far more encouraging on Linus, but still got some big operations to come next week. On we go with heat number 4, and the hometown hero, well, almost hometown anyway, Casper Verina rides in red off the inside gate. He was sensational in Boyens. Watch that final again. He was so near to winning it, yes, coming from last to first. He eventually got from last to second. And Verina has got the backing of the crowd here, no question about that. The Ribnik fans out here in fourth. If he wins this race, he'll be beating the series leader, Grigory Laguta. We've got 3 of the title contenders out here in Heat 4. Verina in red off the inside, Schapelski in blue off gate 2, Jensen in the play after making the final in Boyens. He's off gate 3, and Laguta, the series leader, off the outside. Yeah,
Laguta's going to have to really make a top-notch start from that outside gate. It kind of gives you a false security. They almost get there. Milik almost got there to cut back in, only because Antonio made such a good gate off of 2. But there is some hope for this guy. Robert Lambert's looking on as well. Milik was, as I mentioned, and Milik almost had the combination off game 4. Laguta needs to pull one off. He's going to do it, but he's going to have to work hard to get one over Fiona.
Yeah, those boys in the pits are watching big TV screens are down there. They've actually faced away from the track. Here we go with Heat 4, Marina, Shepelski, Jensen, and Laguta. Big race here with the series leader in play, making a force on Laguta. It's Shepelski who's got the advantage here over Marina with Jensen in white going round the outside. And Grigory Laguta goes flying down the inside of Marina into the third bend. Marina gets squeezed out. It's Shepelski with the advantage. Laguta in all kinds of trouble off bend 4, and Marina retakes the third place. The cheers of the crowd. It's Pavel Shepelski to get the advantage. Second place, Jensen. Marina in third. Some are complete up to here.
Oh, wow. These guys are really battling, man. You just can't put your front wheel over the way that the grids are on that inside that white line. Really unsettle you, as we've seen Laguta do. Laguta sitting on that last place, not the place to be out there, but Shepelski doing a good job, but under a little bit of threat because Jensen's coming.
Michael Jensen really putting the pressure on here. Pavel Shepelski, the real surprise race leader as they start the last lap. Shepelski has not done too much so far in the series. This will be a huge win. And Marina's still in third over Laguta, who may well not score. He closes him off down the back straight. It's still Shepelski from Jensen. Round 2, 3 and 4 for the final time. It's Shepelski to win over Jensen. And it's third for Marina over Laguta. The series leader fails to score in his first ride, and that will begin to really open things up. Marina can't take full advantage. Others have scored decent points, and we've still got a big series on here in Horzów. What a ride by Pavel Shepelski, and Grigory Laguta has to go back to the pits and think again after non-scoring in a dramatic race number 4. Shepelski the winner, Jensen second, and Marina third.
Jensen really looked like he wanted that too. Shepelski really had that dialed in there, but the biggest loser was Laguta. Maybe the luck of the draw or the bad luck of the draw coming from gate 4 in his first race. There's not much out there, but Laguta thinking about cutting back. You can see the roost off the back wheels of those tires right there. That will slow the riders down. Laguta cuts back in on the inside going into 3, but he did put his front wheel over that white line, and it is a little bit unsettling when you do that. I think the riders are figuring that out now, so that might not be an option. It just kicks the riders all around right there because it's not level. So the front wheel,
a real dip there.
Yeah, just what it is it's not level, so it kicks the front end up and unbalances them straight up, and there's a perfect example of it right there. I mean, that's you got to have a lot of talent to hold on to your bike when it gets out of control like that, so good job for him to hold on to that. But out in front, Shepelski does a really good job. Again, another rider attacking this big track and just really enjoying it.
So Pavel Shepelski gets a great win there in race number 4. The other heat winners here, Leon Madsen, Jere Kamper and Antonio Limbach. Laguta now has a 3-point margin over Smektala and Mikkelsen in the overall standings, with Verena, Madsen and Jensen all chasing. Dramatic start here in Horzów. Madsen, Hampel, Limbach and Shepelski, the opening 4 race winners.
Po raz drugi jesteśmy na Stadionie Śląskim w Chorzowie. Po zeszłorocznych doświadczeniach zdecydowaliśmy się na organizację finałowej rundy Tauron Speedway Euro Championship po raz kolejny. Za nami duży bagaż doświadczeń, dzięki któremu myślę, że praca w tym roku była troszeczkę prostsza i udało nam się zrealizować cele, które sobie przed sobą postawiliśmy. Duża w tym rola także naszego sponsora, firmy Tauron Polska Energia, która bardzo mocno nas wspiera, oczywiście jeśli chodzi o aspekty ekonomiczne, które są istotne przy organizacji tego typu imprez, szczególnie na tak dużych obiektach, ale daje nam też duże wsparcie. W tym roku chociażby pozyskaliśmy dodatkową nawierzchnię, którą uzupełniliśmy, przez to tor będzie jeszcze ciekawszy.
Przygotowania do tegorocznych zawodów rozpoczęły się w momencie, gdy w ubiegłym roku się skończyły, bo już były jakieś przemyślenia po zawodach, w jaką stronę iść, w jakim kierunku, jak ten tor zmienić, poprawić, żeby było troszkę więcej ścigania, żeby było jakieś widowisko. Także też na pewno to doświadczenie, jakie zdobyliśmy w ubiegłym roku, nam pomogło, że lepiej trochę byliśmy przygotowani do tych wszystkich prac.
Organizacja wydarzenia na stadionie takim jak ten, na którym jesteśmy, na Stadionie Śląskim, otwiera przed nami zupełnie nowe możliwości. Daje nam okazję do tego, żeby zrealizować świetną imprezę, ale też przede wszystkim pozwala żużlowi wejść na zupełnie inną skalę, przyciągnąć nowych kibiców i rozszerzyć zainteresowanie tą dyscypliną na świecie, na czym nam bardzo zależy.
We are in Chorzów, back in Chorzów. I'm here with Kai Huckenbeck. Kai, last year performance in Chorzów maybe wasn't too fortunate for you, but this year new opportunities, new chances, and you started very well. 2 points on your account at the moment. How do you find it so far?
Yeah, it's a great track. As you said, last year wasn't too good. I couldn't finish the meeting because of the crash in the first heat, but yeah, new opportunity and just focus on the starts tonight because I think that's the most important thing. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
And what can you say about the atmosphere here around? Because you must say that this venue is just amazing, stunning and beautiful.
Yeah, it's just perfect. Big crowd, huge stadium, great track. Hopefully good racing tonight, so can't be better.
Considering the standings, anything can happen tonight. You're 8th at the moment in the overall classification. So what about your expectations towards tonight?
Yeah, I hope I'm gonna finish on the 5th place. I know it's gonna be a tough one. I think it's still 7 points or something, but I try my best. So just focus and keep it going.
Season 2019 is nearly coming to an end. So how could you summarize all this season in terms of your performances? And what about the upcoming one? What about your plans?
I haven't had the best season, to be honest. It was an up and down, and I was struggling big time with my engines, with my material. So yeah, hopefully I'm gonna prepare or can prepare better in the winter time for next season, and yeah, try my best.
Fingers crossed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Back here in Chorzów then at the Śląski Stadium, the final round of the Speedway Euro Championship, and we've had 4 races so far, so everyone on track once, and the situation overall in the standings for the championship is the top 7 riders, including the absent Nicky Pedersen, are covered by just 5 points. That's how close it is. Obviously, forget Nicky for the overall standings. Here's what's happened tonight so far, with wins for Hampel, Madsen, Limbach and Czepelski, and you'll note the no score for Grigory Laguta, the series leader, who is out again in a tough-looking Heat 5. But as I say, in the series overall, Laguta 34, Pedersen not here 33, Smektara 31, Mikkelsen 31, Marina 30, Madsen and Japsen Jensen both on 29. That's how close it is. It's not just the winner here, it's the top 5 also, because the top 5 qualify for next season as of right. So Sam, it is all to race for. So many riders very much in touch.
Yeah, and you gotta take into account that the ever-changing track conditions when it comes to the start gates. Right now we've had 2 wins off of gate 1 and 2 wins off of gate 2, and the best results off of 3 and 4 has really been the fact that riders are getting second places there, and Spectala is one of them, and he's in a really good position, only 3 points behind Laguta, so he's a guy that we're going to kind of focus on as well. Laguta's back in this one to see if he can extend it coming from that inside gate, so hopefully for him that will work, but he's got to deal with Eric Hampel, already 3 points underneath him tonight. Leon Madsen in the race as well, coming from gate 3, so it's a pretty loaded race. David Belingo coming from the outside. I wouldn't think that that outside's going to gift him any points. He'll have to go out there and really throw it in the deep side. They just graded it, which is what the riders need to see, because the track is a man-made track, and it does cut up a little bit, so it does give them the security that they can go high and wide. A little bit of water's been put down. So we just got to just watch and see what the trend is. But at the moment, I would say Laguta's got to be in the driving seat of this heat number 5.
Well, he'll have to do better from the start than he managed in heat 4 from the outside. He goes off the inside gate here. 2 early race winners alongside him. Jarek Hampel in blue, Leon Madsen in white. This will be an interesting test here of Madsen. Can he win from gate 3? Balago goes in yellow off the outside. If Madsen beats Laguta here, then it really is game on.
It is, yeah. And you got to suggest that Leon Madsen's riding on such a high right now. Well, Jarek Hampel could be the spoiler, being between both of them, so we'll have to see. But Laguta's got to be thinking, I got to make this score me some points coming from that inside gate.
Madsen doing it with injuries still that he needs to get sorted out over the winter. He scoots race around the paddock on a little mini scooter. He doesn't want to do too much damage to himself, but it's certainly on the track. He's very fast indeed. Laguta inside, Hampel gate 2, Manson gate 3, there they are, and Pelego in yellow off the outside. He flies in here in Horzov away, forced on by Manson, good start by Laguta, and then Manson really drives to the bend and still gets in front of Jarek Hampel. That was quite impressive. Laguta leads from Manson, and Manson with so much speed now that he tries to get around Laguta on turn 3 and 4. Laguta swings out mid-track to block him. Manson in second place, Hampel in third, Pelego at the back, but it's Laguta in front, but Leon Manson here all over Laguta.
Yeah, Leon Manson's got plenty of speed. Laguta's trying to defend, but doesn't want to make a mistake. He stayed away from that inside line, putting his front wheel over it, and it's stayed clear, but just lost a little bit of ground going back into 1 and 2 of that into that first lap, going to the second lap. Looks like they're pacing it out now.
This will do Laguta the power of good if he can win this race number 5 against Leon Manson, who of course has never been beaten around this track in this competition. Scored a maximum here last year. This will be his first defeat if he beats him. Laguta from Manson, scrap on for third, with Hampel just about holding back the challenge of David Pelego, and Manson will try one last time around turn 3 and 4. Laguta pulls the locker but still gets the line with the win. Laguta wins T5. Second place is Leon Manson. Third, Jarek Hampel. No score for David Pelego, and Laguta gets his night off and running somewhat belatedly with a win from the inside in Heat 5, and that will calm the nerves in his title quest. He takes a point off Leon Manson, and it means the other contenders can only match that over the next 3 races. Laguta winning Heat 5, Manson second, Hampel third.
Better late than never. That's what you got to say. Gregory Laguta from that inside gate. He made the stunning start there, pulled all the way to the first corner. I thought Jarek Hampel might have done a little bit better right there, but left the door wide open for Leon Manson to gain lots of speed down that back straightaway. Nobody to contend with. Thought he was going to go all the way around, but he just made a slight mistake going through 3 and 4, and it just got him in a little bit of trouble right there and had to back the throttle off a little bit. But still, Laguta really needed those 3 points, and he showed every one of us that he's capable of doing it from that inside.
Laguta moves on to 37 points now in the series. Nice little cushion and pressure on others to respond, and those responses are likely to come in Heat 7 and 8, when in Heat 7 we see Varina and Smektala, and Heat 8 we see Mikkelsen and Jepsen Jensen. Those are other title contenders. Heat number 6 is first before that, and Pavel Shepelski, an impressive ride to win his first race, goes off the inside. There's Jurita Pavlic in yellow off the outside. Anders Thompson goes in blue, and Robert Lambert goes in white. We last saw Pavlic in this series back in Lublin, stand-in a couple of years ago, but did finish 8th overall some 5 years ago and made the top 6 on the night in both Togliatti and Holstead. Pavlic has pedigree. We've not really seen too much of it though in recent years.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see him score some points, but it'd be a bit difficult. The trend isn't so much working on those outside 2 gates. So you got to really say the favorite's got to be Shepelski to back up his win already from that inside gate. And Andres Thompson, the Dane, lying in that gate 2 position. See what we can see. Robert Lambert's got to pull something off here. He had plenty of speed once he got going, but he didn't make a good start in his first outing. He's going to have to be very smart in this first turn, I would say, in this Heat number 6.
Yeah, Lambert on the podium last year overall, third in the series, but of course injuries this year have really affected things. He goes in white in Heat number 6. They get underway, and Shepelski makes it to the bend in front of Thompson. Lambert in third place into first bend. Lambert tries to turn back to the inside. Can Lambert get inside Thompson up the back straight? Yes, he can. Good ride by Robert Lambert. Thompson will try and go around the outside in blue, trying to retake the second. Shepelski again traffic well, but Lambert will try the inside into lap 2. Just gets blocked off in defense 1 and 2. It's still Shepelski from Lambert, with Thompson not out of the equation yet. Shepelski in front once again.
Yeah, these guys aren't passing each other, but you can definitely see what they're thinking about. Lambert's got to hold on to that, but at the same time, drive that bike forward. He's got to just slow that thing down sometimes. Shepelski's doing a good job coming from that inside gate. He's got the speed, but so does Lambert. Lambert's just got to work out the combination now.
Lambert is quicker than Shepelski, but Shepelski is putting the bike in the right places, especially on those turns 3 and 4. Gets to the good run down the main straight. Again, Lambert has to try and catch him up around turns 1 and 2. It's Pavel Shepelski with the advantage here over Robert Lambert. Thompson still runs third over Pavlic, but Shepelski, well, the real surprise packages so far tonight, is going to win once again in Heat 6. Shepelski over Lambert with Thompson third and Pavlic at the back, and the Polish fans here will coming to cheer mainly the likes of Kasper Verina, Bartosz Smektala. Well, Pavel Szepelski, the absolute flyer here with 2 rides and 2 wins. He gets 6 points tonight, and Szepelski, who we've not seen star in this level for several years, well, there he is with 3 points there in race number 6. Lambert second, Thompson third, Pavel Szepelski flying tonight.
Absolutely. This track definitely slows the riders down when that little roost. See, it's a sandy material, and even though we got dirt deflectors on these bikes these days, it does slow the riders down a bit, the way it's shooting that roost right across the ground level. And here Robert Lambert's really made a good job of that gate number 3. To backed off the bike in the first corner, cut back to the inside. Szepelski did a great maneuver to make sure he held on to that first corner and kept that bike in the right place. And then Lambert was finding some drive, but kind of running right up against Szepelski, which had to turn the bike a little bit more and back off the throttle probably more than he wanted to.
Szepelski second as a wild card in Torun in 2015, a full series member this year. Certainly his best start to a meeting. He has 2 rides and 2 wins. Szepelski top view leaderboard here. Riders at the start line for Heat 7 here in Horzów, and Antonio Limbach rides in red off the inside. He looked good in his first ride. Kasper Verina needs a win, really. He's in blue off gate 2, only scored 1 from his first ride. Kai Hülkenberg rides in white. Bartosz Smektala in yellow. Hülkenberg and Smektala both scoring second places from their opening outing tonight. Strong field here. Limbach, Verina, Hülkenberg, Smektala.
Yeah, no doubt it's a strong field, and Smektala did a good job coming off of one of the outside gates in the first race to get that second place. So, you know, just can't lose those points and lose grip of his opportunities, and this one might be one that he doesn't want to let go with either.
Sure, Antonio Limbach, after the start he made in his first ride, he'll be optimistic, having done it from gate 2 in Heat 3, of doing it from gate 1 in Heat 7. Limbach, Verina, Hülkenberg and Smektala is the lineup. Smektala, of course, still chasing that under-21 series, an outsider for that, but have a chance going to Pardubice on the Friday. We're there for that, don't miss that one. Limbach on the inside, Verina, gate 2, Hülkenberg, gate 3, and Smektala goes on the outside. Race 7 gets on the way, and Verina has the outcome. Limbach, yes, he has. Verina leads. That's the biggest year of the meeting so far for the crowd. And Verina leads. It's Smektala trying to go around the outside here. Oh, Limbach can go strongly into laps 3 and 4 to get the better over Smektala. It's Hülkenberg at the back, but Verina nailed a good one there on gate 2 ahead of Limbach. Limbach is fast here, but Verina, who's regularly made finals this series, he leads.
Good note there about the speed that Limbach's got. Look at him throwing it in that dirt, going high. Nobody's got around anybody big time yet right there, so it'll be hard. Verina's doing a good job holding on to that lead, riding mid-track right where you want to be.
Again, Verina held the good line off the 4th turn, and the speed that Limbach was generating around the outside was lost there. He's going to try and go in tighter this time, but Verina has the advantage onto the final loss. Again, Limbach is reeling him in. Verina goes now over to bends 1 and 2, then swings it out mid-track off the bend. Limbach is thrusting and doing all he can to try and make up ground. Can he make one last blast around the outside? It's Verina from Limbach. It's Smektala in 3rd, and Verina will win Heat 7. Verina over Antonio Limbach with Smektala 3rd, and Hülkenberg at the back. And Verina really required a win there after a 3rd place in his first ride, and he gets just that in race number 7. He's absolutely pumped, as you can see. Kasper Verina winning Heat number 7, fending off Antonio Limbach, who threw all he could at him, couldn't quite make it through. Had some speed around the outside, just couldn't quite see it off bend 4, and Kasper Verina winning race number 7 here in Horzów. Limbach in 2nd, and Smektala was 3rd.
I would say that Limbach's got to be pretty happy with his start so far in this final round of this Speedway Euro Championship. Coming from gate 1, you would think that he might have been able to get himself in front, but the desire that Verina had to get in the front and please the crowd was just a perfect job done. And he had to watch it because Limbach's speed was really good. It was a little bit right there. Smektala almost got around to that first lap too. That means a lot to him. He only had 2 points coming into this heat, so he would have liked to have had another 2 to double his score, but it was all about Verina, the crowd favorite. Made it from start to finish.
Verina is up to 2nd place in the overall standings with 33 points. He's 4 behind Grigori Laguta. Let's see what Heat 8 will bring, as Verina back in the pits, happy with that one. Heat 8 features Mikkel Mikkelsen, who can move back to within 3 of Laguta. If he wins, he goes in blue. The man in red there is Maxim Drabik, the wild card. Drabik off the inside gate. Mickelson goes off the gate 2. There he is. It's Václav Milik in white off gate 3, and Michael Jepsen-Jensen, who can't be fully discounted yet, but has to claw back now 8 points on Laguta if he's going to challenge for the series title. MJJ goes off the outside gate here in race number 8. There he is.
Yeah, come on, the outside gates come alive. Give us some more opportunities right here. But Drabik on that inside hasn't scored a point yet. Might be thinking that this might be his chance to put 3 on the board, but Mikkel Mikkelsen has probably got to be the one that's going to think that gate 2 is off his bike right now, weighing up where he wants to come out of that box number 2 as they get set for this heat 8.
He's certainly seen the gate number 2 can work. We've seen it happen 3 times so far tonight. Drabik didn't look too quick in his first ride from an outside gate in his opening ride, but we know the speed of Maxim Drabik when he gets himself out in front. He is just a point behind Dominic Kubera in the race for the under-21 series title. That will be decided in the Czech Republic on Friday. Drabik off the inside, Nicholson gate 2, Milik gate 3, Jepsen-Jensen gate 4 for heat 8 here in Horzov, and a great start by Drabik off the inside, and might get tough there with Milik getting squeezed out next behind Mikkel Mikkelsen, and it's Drabik in front. Nicholson though inside, nice 3 and 4. He gets on the inside, going to be really tight there as Drabik is forced out wide. Nicholson comes down the inside, and Mikkelsen leaves a really strong move to get the better of Maxim Drabik. It's Jepsen-Jensen third over Milik. Well, Drabik made the start, but Nicholson saw him down the inside. Great move on then 3 and 4.
Yeah, Mikkel Mikkelsen really had that bike driving out of that turn 2 in the first lap, and he's just pulling away from the rest of the guys at the moment. Unfortunately for Maxim Drabik, he didn't able to get that inside gate work for himself.
Well, Mikkel Mikkelsen was the winner in Boyne, a real breakthrough night for him in this series. Been knocking on the door for a while, and now he's trying to go still further and get a roster finish or even better overall in the series. He's racing clear here of Maxim Drabik with Jepsen-Jensen third. That's a real damage to his series campaign. It's going to be a great win for Mikkel Mikkelsen in race number 8. Mikkelsen over Drabik with Jepsen-Jensen third and Milik out the back, and that's exactly what Mikkelsen required there in race number 8 to move on to 4 points for the meeting and back to second overall in the series. 3 behind Gregory Laguta, and a really firm move there into bench 3 and 4 to move aside the fast starting Maxim Drabik. Mikkelsen wins heat 8, Drabik second, Jepsen-Jensen third.
Nice move from Mikkelsen to his first race. It came from gate 4, got 1 point out of it. So this meant a lot to him to make sure that, you know, that gate number 2, which is possible to do, and that's exactly what he did. Nice turn back coming off of turn 2, got his wheels in line, and the bike just pulled himself right where he wanted to be. Look at the speed he had going into turn 3. That was a perfect combination for the Dane, and it set him up real nice here to keep the pressure on Laguta, which Laguta looked over the fence and watched that race because he knew that Mikkelsen's got fire now. He's ready. He's going for it. He's out in front. Got plenty of speed.
Mikkelsen and Farina the most likely to challenge Laguta in the series as things stand. Laguta on 37, Mikkelsen 34, Farina 33, the top 3 in the series. On the night, Szapelski, of course, with his 2 wins is top, and the important thing is to make sure you make the final here because there are more chances to score points. Szapelski on 6, Madsen and Lindback both on 5, Hampel, Mikkelsen and Farina all have 4 here in Horzov. Back here in Horzov, the Speedway Euro Championship round 4. What an effort they've had to put in to build the temporary circuit here at the Flaski Stadium. Of course, used to be a permanent Speedway venue, but now it simply is a Speedway track put together once a year. The second year we've been here, and Sam, we're just seeing the time lapse here, the images of just what goes in to turn this into a Speedway track again. What
an effort, and this is the second time doing it too, and they stored the stuff into a controlled atmosphere, I believe, into a building, so the material is the same so far the last 2 years, and it looks like it's riding well right now too. But what an effort. Look at that. That's really put together nice. Absolutely. This stadium has got so much Speedway history. We touched on it before, and it's good to see it back, and it's good. Look at that. Beautiful.
Great stuff here in Horshoff. Let's head down to the pits for some reaction. Let's join Marcel in with Anders Thompson.
Exactly, I'm here with Anders Thompson. Anders, I gotta say it's very good to see you back to SEC Cycle after all you have been through. I would like to ask you if it's all good right now or you still require some rehabilitation treatments. Tell me about it.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I feel really good. But yeah, I need a small operation after the season because my bones don't want to heal and I have some ligaments is broke. So I just try to get the best out of it. I know it's hard and it's so sore and I have not really much power in it, but I do the best I can.
What's the most difficult getting back after the injury?
It's the power in the hand. You know, I can't train it or do something because it's still like some happen inside in it. So I can't really have the power back. But you know, I'm also a bit rusty because I have this big break. But I feel all right.
I gotta ask you also about this event tonight because this is very first time for you to perform in Śląski Stadium, and I would like to ask you about your opinion. How do you like it?
Wow, they built an amazing track out there, and yeah, it's my first time here, and wow, what a stadium and so big crowd and everything. It's really great to race in front of all these people.
2 points on your account already. It's maybe not the best result, but do you have already any idea how to make it better?
Yeah, I jump another bike now and see it's going better. I feel a bit flat out there because it takes a lot of power, the material, but I jump another bike and think it will be better.
Good luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Change of bike then on the way for Anders Thompson. Here we are back at the Śląski Stadium, round 4, the final round of the Tyrrell Speedway Euro Championship. 8 races completed on the night, and we're getting closer towards the key moment as far as the series is concerned. But Heat 8 has been done here. 2 rides apiece completed. A surprise leader, Pavel Szapelski, 2 rides and 2 wins. He leads the meeting. Leon Madsen and Antonio Limbach both on 5 points. Jarek Hampel, Mikkel Mikkelsen and Kasper Verina all on 4. The series leader, Laguta, currently outside the top 6 on the night, and of course that's all about progression to the last chance, which doesn't count towards the points but also gets you into the final, which does count towards points. So that's crucial as far as the standings are concerned. And in those overall standings, Laguta is 3 points in front of Mikkel Mikkelsen, with Verina 1 point further adrift. Smektala, Madsen, Jepsen, Jensen, well, they need massive runs of wins now if they are going to challenge, but really it's what Mikkelsen and Verina can do at this stage. Could change yet. Can Laguta keep on covering them off, which he did in his last ride by winning it after the last place in his first ride? We will see. There's Jarek Hampel on track. Heat 9 is next up. Michael Jepsen Jensen and Antonio Limbach go in this one, as does Jurica Pavlic. And this will be interesting, Sam, because we've got Hampel and Limbach off the outside 2 gates. Hampel didn't look particularly quick in his previous ride, but Limbach certainly looked quick. He's off the outside here.
Yeah, I think these next 4 heats are going to probably tell a story of what could possibly be the result towards the end of it, because there's some combinations here of riders sitting in certain spots, and you'd say right here that Michael Jesper Jensen's probably in the best seat right now coming out of gate 2. And this heat number 9, a freshly groomed racetrack, as they're going to be doing after every 4 heats. But the other riders aren't really performing. I mean, Jarek Hampel we thought would be a little bit more of a dominant force, being he's got a win and a third, so he's losing points. So this is going to be important for him as well. But Limbach coming from that outside gate, you would think that that's going to be a hard draw for him as well, but he's got plenty of speed, doesn't he? So Jarek Hampel's a good gating ability, and Limbach as well, but with Jesper Jensen on that inside, I don't know what Pavlicki's had scored a point yet.
So him on the very inside without disrespecting him.
Yeah, of course.
That might be a race where someone off the outside could get something.
Yeah, well, let's just say, yeah, and I'm sure the riders believe in that too when they're on the start line right here. Jarek Hampel just got to throw a little bit more effort into it, I would say. But I know what Antonio Limbach will be wanting to do. If he can just make a really good start, plenty of speed. So this is heat number 9.
Yeah, Limbach looks in the mood so far tonight. Let's see what he can make off the outside gate. Big one for him here. Heat 9. Pavlic off the inside. Jensen gate 2. Hampel gate 3. Limbach off the outside. Away they go. Pavlic has had a good start off the inside. That tells you how good the inside is. Pavlic has the advantage over Jensen with Hampel in third. Now what can Michael Jensen do around the outside? Pavlic lifting into bend 3. Limbach tries to force his way through. Antonio Limbach made it to the inside now. He's still inside. Jensen, and now you can be sure Antonio Limbach will be chasing after Jurica Pavlic. The Croatian lead. Pavlic over Limbach. Limbach gaining ground fast.
Beautiful first lap by the Swede. And if he just stays out of that roost, doesn't get himself into trouble, he just might have a chance to get Malecki as well. He's got plenty of speed.
No doubt making the start from the inside is a massive bonus, and Pavlich is showing, but Antonio Lindback almost got down the inside there into bend 3. Have to move out mid-track once again, and Pavlich falls clear, and the result, with 1 lap to go, Teresa Pavlich still very leads here from Antonio Lindback, who's again straining every sinew, trying to make his move around the outside. Again, Pavlich lifts, and Lindback could make it round the outside here on bench 3 and 4. It's Pavlich over Lindback, and Pavlich will hang on to beat Antonio Lindback. A real strong result there in Heat 9. Lindback doing all he could from the outside gate. Good ride to get the better of Michael Jepsen-Jensen. Couldn't quite do anything against Pavlich. No points for Jarno Kamper, who's gone somewhat into reverse after a good start for the meeting. And Pavlich, who didn't score from his first 2. Don't discount him. Don't discount anyone. Pavlich wins Heat 9 from Lindback. Jepsen-Jensen 3rd.
Well, the story Heat 9 complete. Right there.
Don't discount him.
Yeah,
that's a message for all of us, including me.
Yeah, I mean, I put down Jesper Jensen as being the one that possibly was going to be the biggest threat here, but you know, he only got a 3rd out of this one. It was all about Pavlicki on that inside. Again, that inside shining, especially after the track grade. But look at the speed Antonio Lindback had whenever he got his wheels in line down that back straightaway. He pulled right up alongside Pavlicki within 1 lap, and then it looked like he was just going to be able to seal the deal and go around him. But that roost of this, the back wheel of these guys right now, it's just slowing them down a bit, so it's really difficult to pick your lines. Look how he just stayed on the inside of Pavlicki's back wheel, and that's all he could really offer in that race. But Derek Pavlicki done a really good job to win that race, to put 3 points on the board for himself after starting out with 0.
Teresa Pavlich, the winner of Heat 9. Heat 10 is next with Milik, Madsen, Farina and Lambert. Good lineup once again. It seems to me, Sam, the move you've got to try and make is try and get the wheels in line quickly off bend 2 to get everyone up the inside, because going in wide on bend 3 doesn't seem to be working. You've got to get down on the inside. You
lose too much ground, and you can see the way the track is from our view anyway. The way it goes from into 3, it kind of leads into it gradually instead of going in and finding the apex straight away. The apex is really late. It's almost coming out of 4 where the apex is, and going into turns 1 and 2, you want to go a little bit higher and cut back and come up on the inside. But in the driving seat of this one, in this heat number 10 coming up, you got to say that Milik being on the inside might be the one. But Leon Madsen, super good gator right there. But Briona's got a lot to lose. And coming from that gate 3, you almost can say that gate 4 is a bit of a graveyard. And we got the Brit Lambert sitting on that one. He's got to be very clever in the first corner and use that window, as you just said, coming off of turn 2 on the inside. And that's how he's been making his move so far anyway.
Tough one for Farina here, who's 4 points behind Laguta in the series. He's stuck on gate 3 here in a tough race. Milik off the inside, Madsen gate 2, Farina gate 3, Lambert off the outside for Heat 10 in Horshov, and Madsen drives the bend in front of Madsen. Farina made one a good one. Lambert gets squeezed completely on turn 1 and 2. It's Madsen from Farina, and Farina has the high line. Can he make it work? Madsen blocking off Farina, who goes well wide off bend 4, but again, Madsen's not clear out of bend 4. Madsen from Farina, Milik in 3rd place, Lambert out the back, and Leon Madsen, they got everything right on gate number 2.
Yeah, Leon Madsen knows what his mission is here tonight, and he's already dropped the point, doesn't want to drop anymore. He's way out in front right now. Right now, you see Farina looking over his shoulder left right there. Whether he's got some bike problems, I'm not so sure, but he seems to be panicking a little bit. And the guys behind him, Milik just holding on to that 3rd place, and Robert Lambert's throwing everything at him, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it.
Robert Lambert doing all he can to try and make that ground on Václav Milik. Madsen is stretching clear at the front. Looks like he'll be a convincing winner of Heat 10. Farina is a comfortable 2nd. It looks like Milik has seen off Lambert in the race for 3rd. And Leon Madsen was beaten in his previous ride by Laguta, but he put 3 more points on the board in Heat 10. It's a win for Leon Madsen. 2nd for Farina, keeps him in play. 3rd is Milik and Lambert at the back. Don't think Farina will be too upset by that in a tough race to get 2nd place, but Leon Madsen, if he'd been racing in Voynes, you have to say he'd be the stick-on favourite to be series champion. As it is, he's trying to battle back from not being there. Madsen winning Heat 10, Farina 2nd, Milik 3rd.
Yeah, tough Heat 10. Really difficult there for Farina, but still an effort well done there to get those 2 points. That's That's all riders are getting right now out of gates 3 and 4. Nobody's gotten better than that. There's been 5 wins off the inside and 5 wins off of gate 2. And you can just see the effort right here. But Robert Lambert in yellow there already looking to turn up the inside right there. But then he gets the roost right there from Milik's back wheel. And it just slows him down. It knocks him forward a little bit the wrong ways. That is Robert Lambert trying to cut back a little bit sooner than that right there. But no speed there. But it was all about Leon Madsen coming out of gate 2. Made the start quite easily, and he has plenty of speeds. He just pulled away from him. Just see Briona getting himself in all kinds of difficulty, and I'm sure that's because of the roost. You know, it gets on that front wheel. That front wheel gets covered with dirt, and it just changes the balance of the bike a little bit, and the rider then's got to contend with the fact that he's got a lot more weight on the front wheel.
So Leon Madsen is now the meeting leader on the night with 8 points from 3 rides. Of course, have a chance to become world champion next weekend in Torun as well. That's the outsider of 3, but has the opportunity and still battling here in the Speedway Euro Championship. Heat 11 in Horjov sees Mikkel Mikkelsen there in red off the inside gate with 4 points so far. The scoreless David Bellego in blue off the gate 2. Bartosz Smektala in white off gate 3, and the unbeaten Pavel Szepelski in yellow off the outside. Will he still be unbeaten after Heat 11? There's Limbaugh looking on, but Szepelski has won his first 2 rides. This story is really tough.
Yeah, big story out of this Heat 11 for sure. Mikkelsen on that inside. Bellego's thrown in there for good measures. He's got 0 points so far. But Smektala coming out of that white gate's going to be looking for a couple of points. But this might be the first time that Szepelski's going to lose any points. Unbeaten so far, coming from that outside. Let's see what he can do. Put the right combination together on that one.
Can anyone make it from the outside gate, or will Mikkel Mikkelsen make it from the
Oh, what a
flying start. It's too good from Pavel Szepelski. But we've seen no one make it off the outside, and that's the first time we have. But unfortunately for him, it was too good. And
that's the way you make it off gate 4.
Yes. That was fairly clear. We had lots of controversial moments at the start in Gustra and the under-21s 2 weeks ago, but I don't think anyone will argue too much about that.
He just made it, didn't he?
I think he was slightly.
I think he just hit it perfect, mate. Watch. Nothing moves until he goes. Well, maybe.
There's the rider in you.
Yeah, anyway. Warning.
He gets a warning.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's fair enough.
Yeah,
I think that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I think there were some warnings in Gustra that really were not good for the sport, but Krista Gardell there on the bottom, an experienced referee at this level, and warning Pavel Szepelski. There you go, confirmation of that. So Mikkelsen, Bellego and Smektala complete the lineup, and Bellego was injured, of course, as well in that second round in Torun, but there he is now. Still racing on in Poland, Bellego, because of course Poznan in their playoffs contrived not to get promoted from a 28-point lead against Bydgoszcz. Hence they've got to go into a second playoff now, which comes up tomorrow. That's
right, and that's at Łódź at the new stadium there, and that's the town that me and those 20 other Harley-Davidson riders came from this morning. It was a good road here, but they're still doing a lot of infrastructural work on the highways here. I tell you what, they almost got, I think they said there's like, I don't know if it's like 28 miles or something like that left, and they'll have a complete highway from the north to the south here in Poland, which is all new.
It's growing
fast. That's incredible compared to the times when I first came to this stadium in 1986, the roads that we had to deal with back then compared to now.
I'll bet. So into line the 3 of them, there is Bellego, as I say, racing with Poznan, and that, by the way, that win for Bydgoszcz, of course, sets up the Bydgoszcz Torun derby next season, with Torun being relegated, so that'll be one to look out for.
Yeah. In my days, when I rode for Bydgoszcz, that was pretty intense. I can tell you that.
It'll be interesting when that's scheduled. If it comes up next to a major event in Poland, then there'll be plenty of interest in those meetings. Anyway, heat number 11, Mikkelsen, Bellego, Smektala and Szepelski. Second go here at the start line.
Yeah, you got to say Mikkelsen's the one to favor in this race here with being on that inside gate. But we know what's on the line here, whether this is going to lose any points or not, or is he going to make another good start. The second attempt of this one, he's got a warning already.
Bartosz Smektala there in the white helmet colour, again still racing on, a winner of the Extraliga with Lechno. Thumping victory on aggregate against Wrocław, but still big meetings to come for him. Mikkelsen then off the inside, Bellego in blue off game 2, Smektala white off game 3, and Szepelski warm in yellow off the outside. They're going to wear the rebuttal. Mikkelsen in red, going to go more focus. Bartosz Smektala, who dispatches Szepelski on turn 1 turn 2, and then goes after Mikkelsen on the back straight, and Smetana with that run down the inside just gets blocked off. He nicked it at the crucial time, and Mikkelsen's straight clear. And what about the run round the outside there by Szepelski, who again is banging wheels there on Bartosz Smetana, but Szepelski there has shown his pace. Pelego now trying to go around Smetana. Szepelski makes an outside move on bend 4 and gets second.
He does. That's all you could probably expect to get from that outside gate. That's been the story so far this evening. But out front right there, Mikael Mikkelsen that is up from the inside gate, which is going to be another win that's going to make it 6 from that inside.
Mikkelsen keeping himself in play, but Smetana is in a desperate battle here with Pelego, who's got past him for third place, and Smetana a last place here, well, virtually all in after the championship contention. He's still trying to regain that third place, but Pelego's got the better of him. Mikael Mikkelsen battling on here, and we move on to 7 for the meeting, and Mikkelsen around turns 3 and 4 to win race number 11. Mikael Mikkelsen over Pavel Szepelski, Pelego third, and a gutted Bartosz Smetana is only just coming across the finish line to make sure he completes the race, doesn't get a retirement against his name. Could be important, but a bad last place there for him. Mikael Mikkelsen gets 3 points from race number 11 and moves joint level with Grigori Laguta at the top of the standings. Laguta has a ride in hand, which comes up in heat 12. Mikkelsen winning heat number 11 from Szepelski. Pelego in third, and Smetana, who was battling for the lead early on, at the back.
Yeah, Szepelski unbeaten so far, looking at all of his options, but he got a back wheel right in his way, and that was out of Smetana coming out of gate number 3. Looked like Smetana had that all lined up going into turns 3 and 4 to be able to put the pressure on Mikkelsen, but they just all went pear-shaped for him. He actually just lost it because on the outside, going into turn 3, was this guy in the yellow helmet color, and that's Szepelski. Only did drop a point so far until this heat 11. He's going to lose a point here, and that's not too bad coming from the outside gate. They're really tough to gain points from out there. Second place is probably the best result you can expect. Mikael Mikkelsen, the Dane, out in front from the start to the finish. The battle goes on. Pelego's really holding on and trying to steal that third place, and he does it at the end. After 4 laps, he secured that last point available with this guy right here, added another 3 points, and now pushing real hard because he's even on points right now with Laguta coming out in this race next.
Yep, Laguta's got an inside gate coming up in heat 12, but Mikkelsen level with him in the standings. The last place there for Smetana leaves him 5 behind Laguta, and with Laguta having a race in hand. So I think really Smetana's battle now could be for a top 5 finish and not for the series. We will see. He's only got 3 points so far though on the night. Laguta is on the inside gate here in heat 12. He finished last in his first ride, then won his next. Maxim Drabic there in blue goes off the gate 2, second place in his last ride. Anders Thompson, who we heard from, changing bikes, he's in white off gate 3, and Kai Hülkenberg goes in yellow off the outside. So can Laguta make it a second win here from the inside gate?
Yeah, there's some good gators out there with Hülkenberg. He's not so bad out of the start, and we already know Thompson's riding with a bit of an injury, but determined to make it work for himself coming from that 3. Drabic's going to have to make that gate 2 work for him. We already know what Laguta's plan is.
Whatever Laguta scores here brings him a lead over Mikael Mikkelsen after 3 rides apiece here this evening in Nordrum. Away they go. A great start by Maxim Drabic though. Drabic has got the better of Laguta from the gate, and round the outside goes Anders Thompson on that chase bike, and that chase bike is working. Anders Thompson round the outside here of Laguta, and Laguta flings it hard under Drabic on turns 3 and 4. What a move by Laguta! What a ride by Laguta to go into the lead. Drabic is sent wide by Thompson. Dramatic stuff here. Thompson through into second, and Thompson's very quick here. He's going to go back up to Laguta.
Yeah, Thompson's really got some pace right here. Laguta's got to watch out. Look over your right shoulder, buddy. Nope, look under your left shoulder, because he's coming either way.
Well, Thompson nearly made it there, and Laguta knew he was there and read it and maintained the advantage. Fantastic ride by Laguta to get himself back to the front on the third lap. It could be a massive ride also for his title with 1 lap to go. He's fending off Anders Thompson. Maxim Drabic in third. Kai Hülkenberg out the back, and Laguta, questions being asked on him earlier on here tonight, and on that first lap he had the answers. He came charging through on the inside of Maxim Drabic, and he held off Anders Thompson, and Laguta wins his 12 in Hodgov. Laguta over Thompson with Drabic in third and Hülkenberg at the back. Best first lap we've seen so far tonight, and Grigori Laguta, the series leader, the champion-elect, is now once again 3 points clear in the standings. Great ride by Laguta to first of all get the better of Drabic and then fend off Anders Thompson. Laguta winning heat 12, Thompson second, Drabic third.
spectacular heat, 12. There were some stories I was predicting out of all these last 4 rides in this round. And out in front, coming out of the start, Gravik looked like it was going to be his. He lifts, he looks over his shoulder a little bit to see, felt the pressure of somebody there. And it was Andreas Thompson, the Dane there, that was giving him a false indication right there, moved out of the way and left the door wide open for Lagutta to come into. The Russian actually takes the pace after that. Really good class rider from himself, able to get himself out there. Almost lost it within a lap, but pulled it back and looked pretty fast.
Make a date for Heat 14. Lagutta and Mikkelsen race each other, and that could be absolutely crucial in the series because Lagutta 3 in front of Mikkelsen at this stage. Absolutely vital, but that was great stuff, and Anders Thompson gave it a real go there.
He sure did, so that second bike's working well there. Just see the dirt right there, slowing him down. You know, all riders got to deal with it. The track's holding up pretty well. They're outgrading it right now and repacking it, getting ready for the next heats.
So Lagutta leads Mikkelsen by 3 points in the standings, with Ravina 2 behind. On the night, Madsen and Szepelski, 8 points apiece, lead the meeting.
Przepraszam, takie pytanko mam. Na Stadion Śląski gdzieś dojadę? No, bo ponoć tu jakiś żużel będzie.
Tutaj w lewo pan skręci
Tak?
i skręci jeszcze raz w lewo przy Pozowskim.
Okej.
Po prawej stronie jest tak.
Dobrze, dziękuję. Na Śląski gdzie dojadę? No, bo ponoć żużel jakiś jest.
Ale najszybciej to jest chyba tu.
Dobra, dzięki.
W lewo do głównej, do świateł, jeszcze raz w prawo.
We've just watched Kacper Boryna crossing the streets of Katowice on a speedway bike, and I'm here with Kacper Boryna live. I would like to ask you, first of all, about that experiences crossing the streets on motorbike, on speedway bike, because there has been a lot of questions afterwards. How did you turn right? How many times did you have to stop to fuel the bike? And how was your opinion about racing a bike on the regular streets?
Well, I definitely prefer racing on normal speedway track than concrete, but it was good fun, good promotion for SEC this final round, and yeah, I had a fun, but it was definitely more slick than it is today.
I believe the faces of people were very, very funny.
Yeah, they didn't even notice that I have no brakes or registration number, so. Yeah, I had fun.
That was a great one. I would like to also ask you, because at the moment when you step on the stage at the opening ceremony, you had a big round of applause. It was a very warm welcome for you, and I believe that is a great feeling to experience such a thing.
Well, it definitely helps a lot. I wouldn't like to get such a warm welcome like Grisha did. So. I definitely prefer warm welcome like I did have, and I'm really grateful for that. And hopefully, I will get something back to the people that come and see me.
Yes, last year you already had a chance to perform at Śląski Stadium, starting with a wild card in the 4th round of SEC. But this year is different. You're fighting for much more.
Definitely, we are fighting for much more than just a win in a single round. So. It's going good, to be honest, for now, and you know, it's tough for everyone. So I'm hoping to get as much points as possible and see how the result comes after. So
it's gonna be tough heats, but I believe I can do it.
Okay, one last question, because you are known as a very positive person. How do you keep that positive attitude all the time?
I got a special drink in here.
Thank you. Good luck and keep going.
Thank you.
Casper Verina, certainly very heavily involved in the promotion of this event and very heavily involved in the title race as well. He is 5 points behind Grigory Laguta, who, as he mentioned there, not quite so popular with his Rybnik connection, shall we say. But Laguta, 40 points, Mikkelsen 37, Verina 35, Madsen 34 is how things stand at this stage. They've all got 2 more regular rides to come here in the meeting. Madsen and Szapelski lead the way, and you'll see Szapelski in action here in heat 13. Hülkenberg off the inside gate, Milik off gate 2, Szapelski off gate 3, Hampel off the outside. Szapelski made a great effort from the outside gate last time, now he's got gate 3.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough for him again. And also with Verona, we just interviewed, he's in heat 16 off of gate 4. If you're ever going to have a gate 4, you'd want it right at the end before they drag it. Sometimes that could be an advantage in the first corner, but still, and this heat 13 is going to be tough from the outside.
Heat 13 then on the way that Milik made quite a good start. Szapelski has been trapping well, made a good one from gate 3, and he put himself in play there. And Pavel Szapelski's got round the outside of Václav Milik, and he race leads. Good run again by Szapelski to lead Milik. It's Hülkenberg in third place over Jarek Hampel at the back. Tell you what, Pavel Szapelski really fancies this meeting. All talk about the title battle for Szapelski. Good luck to update everyone. He could get his third win here.
Beautiful start from that gate 3 to pull himself out in front. Szapelski, the rest of the boys right there. Milik's having a little bit of trouble with dealing with this racetrack on the inside. Hülkenberg is going to come up the inside of him going into this corner. But cleanly out in front, Szapelski's got some air.
Hülkenberg and Milik wheel to wheel and making contact on the back straight of the big
no!
Gonna get crushed there on bend 4. As Hülkenberg goes into Milik, you can kind of see it coming, going in. Hülkenberg had the big crash here last year on bend 2, and this year he has a big crash on bends 3 and 4 as Hülkenberg, it appeared, ran into Milik after it being closed down going into the bend, and Václav Milik is looking like he's hopefully trying to collect himself. Hülkenberg is in the fence a bit further back. It's the first accident of the evening. High-speed stuff into the third bend, and both Hülkenberg and Milik going down.
They were throwing elbows at each other down there.
They actually made contact a couple of times.
Yeah, they were.
That.
So, the outcome of that wasn't very good, was it? At least they both got off their bikes and didn't go in with the bikes. That's the only bonus I would say out of that, as long as they come away from the stand. But they were bouncing off each other. Look at this. Hülkenberg didn't want Milik to go past him at all, and that just put him in a very vulnerable position.
And Milik does get off the back of the bike.
Yeah.
So it's high speed.
Right
Milik
here.
is back on his feet.
Yep. Good to see. Good to see.
And let's just have a look at Kai Hülkenberg here.
This is very similar to what happened at in Cardiff. I don't know if you've seen that with...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With Ty Whippington. And
that's right.
The only thing with
Freddie,
Václav Milik isn't locking up there. He's just...
he's just kind of covering his... Actually, Milik was trying to get around Hülkenberg, and Hülkenberg didn't want him to go.
Hülkenberg is excluded, by the way.
Yeah, well, that's probably fair play.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, ooh. Right there, Milik got it in the back, too, pretty hard, from the front wheel of Hülkenberg's bike.
Well, they're both walking away. They're both on their feet, and they're both about to meet each other on the fourth bend. There you see the exclusion light. They have just had a quick chat about it. And Kai Hülkenberg there, you see him walking in now. And as we said, the second year running, a big accident, not quite as big, thankfully, as the one last year when they piled up on the very first race off the second bend. And there's Václav Milik just about to get the helmet off. And always going to be a heavy landing whenever you get off a bike at that speed on that bend. But as you say, the important thing was they didn't go in with the bikes.
Yeah.
Just check over the helmet as well. But Václav Milik will be able to go in the rerun. Kai Hülkenberg will remain on 2 points for the evening after 4 rides.
This being the biggest track of the series, just shy of 360 meters, they're gaining some speed down that back straightaway or the front straightaways, and to come down at full speed like that, I reckon they're probably doing 70, 80 miles an hour at sometimes, you know what I mean? So that's a pretty fast to be falling down.
It looks like you can, obviously you build speed down the straight, but they take that speed into the third bend because as you talked about, the apex seems to be much further around.
It is. They can drive the bike in a lot further, especially going into turns 3. He goes right past the apex, what you would think would be the natural apex, the center of the corner. But they go past that, and that's where they have to turn the bike. It's good to see him walking away. That's good. He's a bit sore. Imagine. You can see the tire marks on the back of his bib there where the front wheel flattened him straight in the back.
Yeah, good to see. We've seen some big crashes in this series this season at most of the venues, actually. And a little joke being shared as well. But hopefully no big damage, and we'll just see what situation is bike-wise. Gregory Laguta waiting for that important Heat 14. They'll have to wait a bit longer for that because there will be a rerun of Heat 13 first, and they're just going to see what's going on there in the pits with the bikes.
Yeah, what a start by Pavel Shepelski to be able to come off that gate 3. That would have been the first race win we've seen from either gates 3 or 4. Yeah, see that big, it just hit him and then knocked him, yeah.
So
I think he's come out of that pretty good, to be fair. It's just at the speed they're going, they're actually going quite fast. And for this thing just to knock him off the bike, hits him, he knows he's in trouble, puts the back wheel on the ground, which rears it and gets the bike out from underneath Milik. And if you're going to say you don't want to, if you have to throw your bike away yourself, sometimes you get dragged along with it. And that time the bike took off on its own.
What's the point at which you know you're in?
Right there, he's into trouble. Get rid of it, because as soon as the bike rears up like that at that speed, even if you were to stay on the bike, you wouldn't have been able to slow it down. You would have ended up going right into the fence, you and the bike. So to get off it was really quite a good call, really.
Real frustration for Shepelski. You can see the 2-minute warning is on now for the rerun, so not too much time for Václav Milik. But yeah, Shepelski had ridden a fantastic ride to get to the front, and now have to do it all again from gate 3, although of course there will be one less rider on the inside.
Yeah, and they know now that Shepelski's quick, so you're going to get Milik having a second chance if he can pick himself back up and not be beat up too bad on that one. And Jörg Hampel really has kind of lost his way, really, hasn't he?
Hampel certainly has, and also I would argue Milik, who we saw finish second and third in this series, really went for the title, went head-to-head with Lebedev for a title a couple of years ago, and has just not really figured this year.
Yeah. Sometimes these guys lose their combination as far as engines.
Milik is running, or hobbling I should say, down the pit lane to get to a bike.
Yeah, he's got
with
a minute.
The time counting down. That's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
You're watching the Starline images, but Milik, I can tell you, has got a spare bike just being fueled down at the fuel station.
Okay.
And he's had to run all the way from the far end to get to that bike.
He got back to the far end where his pits is, and to get back to where the bike is, it's getting fueled. They're just pushing him off now, so he's got 40 seconds still to go. So,
and you'll see him at the top of your screen there, making his way onto the track. So he will make it comfortably. About 30 seconds to go on the 2-minute warning.
Well, Milik's on a fresh bike. Obviously, it's all nice and clean. Gate 2's got 5 race wins underneath the riders that have been in it.
Oh, we saw Thompson make a change, and it looked a lot quicker.
It sure did, yeah. So maybe there's some luck here. Look at there's Mikkelsen looking on. A lot going on now. We're getting close to it, down to the last 10 seconds. The riders now are getting there. Starting Marshall's going to put them in their position.
Yeah, must be in line when that clock goes down to 0. Milik, Shepelski, and Hampel for the rerun of Heat 13 away. And again, a fantastic start by Pavel Shepelski from gate 3. He's got clear air in front into the first bend. Hampel is trying to run around the outside. Milik on that change bike, not to win, but Jörg Hampel here trying to go around the outside. Not seen too much from Hampel in a racing sense so far. Shepelski covers him off and leads on to the second lap. Shepelski over Hampel with Milik in third place, and Shepelski was in front when the race was stopped. Hampel is safe on turn 2, and Shepelski in control once again.
Yeah, Hampel had a little bit of too much drive there. The bike's working good for him, but just pulled him a little bit too hard and had to back off a little bit. Shepelski, though, made no mistakes about having a second attempt at this. Heat number 13 straight out in front, and he's got plenty of speed.
Pavel Shepelski here will move on to 11 points, assuming he brings this race home, and he's definitely going to be taking a place in at least the last chance, if not the final itself, and that's a place that one of the series contenders would have been hoping for. We don't know which one yet will miss out, but we'll see. Pavel Shepelski is having a blinder of a night here in Horzów, and he is comfortably in front around turns 3 and 4 of Jörg Hampel, with Milik Koski in third. Shepelski gets his third win on the meeting in Heat 13. Hampel in second, a Polish one too, and Václav Milik not working out for him there in that rerun. He gets the point in third place. There he is, straight back to the pit. But the Polish fans enjoying what they're seeing from Paweł Szczepelski here this evening, having a fantastic night, on to 11 points from 4 rides. Jarek Hampel, a solid, if unspectacular, second place. Milik was third, but Szczepelski, 11 from 4, leads the meeting. Hampel second, Milik third, Hülkenberg excluded.
Wow, nice position to be in, and especially be the first person to actually break the mold of nobody winning any races off gates 3 and 4. What a lightning start did Szczepelski get. The second attempt there in this heat 13, straight up front. Even Jarek Hampel's getting a good ride. He's on the high line there thinking right, but he knows that dirt, look at it just fly, and that dirt slows the rider down. He's looking the inside, that is Jarek Hampel, to make sure nobody's going to sneak underneath him and get back into the inside if he can possibly avoid that dirt. And then going into this next corner there, he got himself into a little bit of trouble, but no trouble for Szczepelski.
Paweł Szczepelski, 11 points. The meeting so far. We'll certainly see him in the closing stages, but a massive heat 14 on the way. We're going to see Laguta and Mikkelsen head to head. Heat 14 in Horzów, huge race in the context of the Speedway Euro Championship. Robert Lambert there in red off the inside gate. Grigori Laguta, the series leader in blue off gate 2, 40 points overall so far. Mikkel Mikkelsen there in white off gate 3, 37 points so far. Needs to beat Laguta really, and throw in Antonio Limbach with 7 on the night so far, the same as Mikkelsen, and we have a very competitive Heat 14 and a massive one for Laguta and Mikkelsen.
Yeah, very massive right there. Antonio Limbach's got plenty of speed. We've seen it all night. He isn't making the best of gates, but he's making the nice turnbacks there. Robert Lambert's going to be just the opposite. He's on the inside gate for a change, and he had a little bit of speed. He could be the spoiler in this one. You know, we don't want to overlook the fact. Yeah, don't want to overlook that right there. So Mikkelsen and Laguta head-to-head, with the Brit on the inside and the Swede on the outside.
Laguta in blue, 3 points in front in the series of Mikkelsen in white. Robert Lambert off the inside, Antonio Limbach off gate 4. Huge race there, Heat 14 gets underway. Laguta's got the better of Mikkelsen from the start. Laguta's got the better of everyone. Mikkelsen tries to turn back off then too. Laguta race lead, Mikkelsen second, chopping off there. Robert Lambert, Limbach trying to move down the inside, gets inside Lambert, but Laguta stretching clear here of Mikkelsen. It's Limbach is third now over Lambert. Mikkelsen will challenge on. This could be a massive ride here for Grigori Laguta. He could be heading to the Speedway Euro Championship.
Yeah, he knows he's got his sight in one place right now, and that's clean air in front of him, and he can see everything he wants. The track has come to the rider. He's riding big track, and the thing's pulling away. Mikkelsen just got to hold on to that second place. He would love to be in front of Laguta, but it isn't going to happen.
Laguta just made a really good start. He controlled that first bend. He got everything right. He leads on for his last lap. Mikkelsen is no threat in second place. Limbach is third over Robert Lambert, and Laguta is going to stretch it here over Mikkelsen and be 4 in front of him with one regular ride to come and potentially a final. It's Laguta winning Heat 14 in Horzów and taking a huge step towards the series title. Mikkelsen in second place, Limbach in third, Lambert at the back. Pressure on Laguta after a last place in his first ride, and he has hit back, and how? Bang, bang, bang. 3 wins on the bounce. Laguta in charge in the series.
Absolutely. He came into this event with the positive side of the fact that he's leading the championship, and it's him to actually throw it away. And he felt the first race, getting a 0, as you said, and then just top it from that point on. And out of the start, we were thinking that Robert Lambert might get in there, but he actually got all boxed in and actually almost ran up the back wheel of Mikkelsen, the Dane there. And Mikkelsen coming out of gate 3. We've had a race win out of that, only one. Nobody else has done it. There was an opportunity there, but Grigori Laguta knew what he wanted to do at one of the favorite gates. That's the 6th time we've had a winner out of gate number 2. The boys battle on. Here's how close it was with Robert Lambert coming on the backside of Mikkelsen there, and had to give that one up there. And then he got swallowed up at the end because Lindback come underneath him going into that corner, and that's all she wrote for the Brit.
So Laguta now has 4 points on Mikkelsen as things stand, and we will look towards, for as far as Laguta is concerned, Heat 19 when he faces Smektala, Milik and Pavic. Could be a big one more Grigori Laguta. 15 is next. with Jepsen Jensen, Smektala, Thompson and Madsen. Heat 15 in Horzów, and Michael Jepsen Jensen rides off the inside gate. 4 points so far on the night. Bartosz Smektala in blue with 3 on the night. Anders Thompson in white, he's got 4, and Leon Madsen goes off the outside in yellow. Only dropped 1 point so far. Leon Madsen, he's got 34 in the series, but he's now 9 behind Laguta after Laguta's recent winning run.
Yes. But riding on a high still is Leon Madsen, performing well everywhere. Coming from that outside, can we finally see somebody win from gate 4? If anybody can do it, it will be Leon Madsen. Smektala will probably be the one that wants to spoil this party coming out of gate 2. But equally, the other Dane in the race will be Michael Jesper Jensen coming from that inside gate. He must be thinking that he can do it. But we're already seeing Andreas Thompson do well after changing his bike. So this could be a very highly contested Heat 15 coming up.
Yeah, interesting race. Tough one for Leon Madsen off the outside gate. It means when it runs going, and Jepsen Jensen off the inside gets there in front of Smektala. It's also a good start by Anders Thompson, which has really dispatched Leon Madsen, and Thompson has gone round the outside. The changing bike really has worked well. Madsen shoots down the inside. Smektala, who looks rather uncomfortable here, but Anders Thompson must have wished he changed bikes earlier. Smektala back inside Madsen, and Madsen goes to the back, and that's a big problem for him. Thompson with the advantage here over Jepsen Jensen, and Smektala back in third place.
Yeah, Jepsen Jensen's really trying to see if he can keep pace with Thompson. Thompson's got this thing all weighed up. If he makes a mistake, though, I reckon that Jepsen Jensen will actually snag it coming up the inside, just keeping him honest, that's for sure.
Thompson finding speed off bend 2 with a more outside line. We saw that in the previous ride. He was hooking things up. He's got a good racing line here. Anders Thompson over Michael Jepsen Jensen. Smektala in turn, and Madsen is going nowhere fast. In fact, there's some kind of issue with Leon Madsen, and this is the end of his title defence. Leon Madsen in Heat 15. It's Anders Thompson coming round to win the race. Fine ride there by the Dane. Jepsen Jensen, somewhat out of shape on turn 4, still gets the second place over Bartosz Smektala, and there'll be no points for the defending and outgoing champion Leon Madsen. All in a tall order after missing Voyens. He wheelies over the start-finish line. He has been a great champion, and he's had a fantastic run these last couple of years, but there'll be no Speedway Euro Championship for Leon Madsen. What a ride by Anders Thompson on the first lap there, winning Heat 15. Thompson gets 3 points on the board. Second place for Michael Jepsen Jensen, and third Bartosz Smektala.
Yeah, not a bad run there from the Dane. Thompson actually changed that bike. He told the story that switching bikes, and it's worked for him. Out of gate 3, the thing really started going good for him. Smektala and blue there doesn't really make a decent one. It's Michael Jesper Jensen that seems like he was going to maybe get a clean break coming off of turn 2, but the speed that Thompson had up in that high line, mid-track I should say, possibly was not so much too high. Here's Smektala coming back underneath Leon Madsen when his race is kind of over after that pass right there. Never was able to recover to be able to put a threat on any of the other riders. But out in front, Anders Thompson having real big fun.
And he's moved into the top 6 on the night with that result. Anders Thompson with 7 points. He's in 6th place this evening, so definitely with the potential to move forward on the night. But it's quite a key race there for other reasons, because Michael Jepsen Jensen, Bartosz Smektala and Leon Madsen all now officially ruled out of the title race. It's down to 3 riders. One of them is Kasper Verina in yellow, and the odds are stacked against him. He's got 35 points in the series, 3 rides potentially to come if he makes the final, to a maximum of 44, and Grigory Laguta has already got 43.
Yeah.
Mikkel Mikkelsen on 39 is still in play. It's all for Laguta to win, and Verina here has to win Heat 16 against Pelego, Pavlik and Trabic.
Yeah, the rule is Verina's got to do it. The crowd want him to do it. We can feel it. The energy's there. Don't underwrite the pole from that outside gate.
No one's won from gate 4 so far.
Yeah, I know, but don't write them off. I think there's a chance here.
Certainly against riders who have not scored massively. Trabic made a reasonable start in his previous race, and then got beaten up on the 3rd and 4th bend. But he's in white. We saw Pavlich win from the inside. He goes in blue this time, and it's Pelego off the inside gate. Heat 16 in Horzów as the title race nears its conclusion, and Verina does not make it off gate 4. Pavlich makes it off gate 2. Pavlich is being challenged by Drabik. Drabik round the outside. Drabik leads. Marina got a good run off that too. Goes second. Marina into second place. Now Caddy make ground on Maxim Drabik. Drabik leads from Marina. It's Pavlich in third. Vallejo at the back. And Vallejo looks to send one down the inside for third place. But the race on at the front. Maxim Drabik, the former world under-21 champion, out in front of Casper Marina.
And he's got plenty of speed right there. Marina might not be able to catch him now unless there's going to be a fatal mistake right there from Drabik. But Drabik's doing a good job. Super ride for gate number 3. This could be the second win, or third win from gate number 3, that is.
Maxim Drabik trying to make the last chance here tonight. He'll move on to 6th. Marina is well on his way there. Off the fourth bend, the force to stop on the bike actually, and has time to recover. Looks over his shoulder, sees that Jurita Pavlich is some way behind, and he still maintains that second place. There's no stopping Maxim Drabik. We see it so often in under 21 competition. When he hits the front, there is no stopping him. Maxim Drabik winning heat 16 ahead of Casper Marina, with Jurita Pavlich in third, and David Vallejo is at the back. Drabik gets 3 points to move on to 6th for the night, improving as the meeting goes on. Marina gets 2, he's got 8, and now needs to win his last ride and win the final, and hope Laguta fails to score a further point if he can become Speedway Euro champion. Drabik winning heat 16 from Marina, Pavlich in third place.
Yeah, still a chance, Stan. The way the maths work, there's still a chance. Laguta can't make any mistakes. This is all about just taking the best opportunities you can from the worst gates. Nobody's made it off that gate 4 to actually win a race yet. There's been 2 before this heat 16 out of gate number 3, and the combination worked for the pole. Maxim Drabik had a really good run. The track is cutting up a little bit, but they did say we need to water it and grade it and repack it after every 4 races. You can just see why these riders are actually having to battle with the consistent inconsistency of the track sometimes when it gets worn out after a couple of heats. But it was all about making the start, and Maxim Drabik did it and got clean air down that back straightaway and never looked back.
Mikkelsen and Verina both go in heat 17, and that will set up how thing, or what's required for Laguta in his last ride in heat 19. That's where Laguta could clinch the Speedway Euro Championship. He's 4 points in front of Mikkel Mikkelsen, with Verina 2 further behind. On the night, Szepelski is 2 points clear of Laguta and Mikkelsen, both on 9. Madsen, Verina and Lindbach have got 8. Back here in Horzów, round 4 of the Speedway Euro Championship. Grigory Laguta closing in on confirming series victory. He's 4 points clear in the series of Mikkel Mikkelsen, with Casper Verina 2 points further behind. They are the only 3 who can now win the series. They've all got one more regular ride to come here in this 4th round. Here are the standings so far tonight. Surprise package. Pavel Szepelski leads the meeting by 2 points from Grigory Laguta and Mikkel Mikkelsen with 9 apiece. Madsen, Verina and Lindbach, they complete the top 6 on the night. Reminder, those 3rd to 6th go through to the last chance race. Top 2 automatically into the grand final. As I say, in the series, Laguta could seal things in heat 19, or he could have it sealed for him previously in heat 17 if points had dropped elsewhere. But Laguta within touching distance of taking the Speedway Euro Championship title. The man who won it last year was Leon Madsen. He missed round 3 due to injury before the Voyage round. Had he not missed that meeting, then surely he'd have been up there with Laguta, or maybe ahead of him. But certainly it's all about just one of those things that happen in Speedway. When you miss the odd meeting with injury, very unfortunate for him, but he had a fantastic year last year, Leon Madsen, and has been superb once again in this series. We can hear from him now in the pits. Leon Madsen is with Marcelina.
I'm here with Leon Madsen. Leon, first of all, I have to ask you, what happened in the last heat of yours? Because you've been doing perfectly well, and what was the reason of such a poor race?
Thanks.
I'm sorry, no offense.
Oh, it's I didn't make a good start from gate 4, and the track this year is very difficult. There's a lot of loose material, so when you get behind, it's even difficult to see something. So and there's a lot of there's some ruts in the corners, and it's very loose material. So it's difficult when you're behind. It makes your life much more difficult, and yeah. Starts are crucial, almost, like always. So, in last one I have gate 1, so gotta see if we can make 3 points, so we can at least go for the last chance seat.
Unfortunately, the chances to defend the title of European champion are probably gone, or definitely gone, but you still have a big chances to secure the spot for 2020 if the upcoming races will go good, and if we will be watching, of course, the standings of the further heats. How are you feeling about that?
My aim is still to end up on the podium. I am only 2 or 3 points behind third place, so that's my target, and that's what we try to do. And I think that no matter what, you know, top 5, top 3 will still be good when you miss out one round. But we definitely have to do better than the last race. So we will see what happens. Now we have gate 1 and I'll try to make a good start and score some more points, and then we'll see where we end up.
Of course, obviously, it is a great season for you. We could see that in the first 2 rounds of SEC. Unfortunately, as you've mentioned, you had to miss the 3rd round in Voyens. I assume that was a very difficult decision.
Yes and no, because when you're injured and you have too much pain and you can't move your shoulder and walk on your ankle, then bottom of line it was an easy decision. Then you have to think about your health and the safety also. So. But yeah, of course, it's never easy to say no to racing, especially when it's about the European Championship. But it was the right decision, and I still have a chance to, like you say, stay in top 5, which qualify me for the next year. And hopefully then I will come back stronger next year and 100% fit, and again fight for the championship.
Since you've mentioned the injury and that you have to struggle a lot with the pain, how is it at the moment?
It's pretty much similar. It's a little bit better, of course, but will never be 100% good before the season finishes and I can undergo a surgery, get out some metal pins I have in the leg, and after that, hopefully, will be 100% good again.
In SGP, you are still in this 3rd position, as I remember correctly. Big sign for Leon Madsen, big season for you. You must be very satisfied as well, even though despite the pain and everything that's going wrong, you are still on fire.
Thanks. Yeah, it's been a good season, and I achieved a lot. I might not win the World Championship, but ending on the podium and win the 2 big ones in Warsaw and Cardiff was an incredible experience and a great feeling. And I'm very happy about my season. And next year we'll try to take it a step higher.
All the best, Leon. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
He certainly has had a terrific season. Also helped Czestochowa to a 3rd place finish in the Polish Ekstraliga with big scores against Zielona Góra, their first medal in 10 years. So really worked well for him. There's the man who's so close to clinching the title here, Grigory Laguta, and Leon Madsen. Laguta is the quickest rider also here at Śląski Stadium, as you can see, with very consistent winning times. Leon Madsen referring to the race for the top 5, and that's very close indeed. You've got Laguta on 43, Mikkelsen 39, Farina 37, Madsen 34, Smektala and Jepsen Jensen both on 33. So 5 out of 6 won't quite go. One of them will miss out on the automatic place for next year.
Yeah, that's right. What a shame, too. They're all riding really well. The track has just been groomed, ready to go again.
Yeah, big heat 17
yeah,
now.
It is.
Because we've got Mikkelsen and Farina in this race. Hampel will be off the inside. Anders Thompson will be off the outside. Will he be the man to win from the outside, which no one's done so far? But Mikkelsen in blue and Farina in white. So Laguta on 43 points. Mikkelsen on 39 and can finish with 45 if he wins this race and wins the final. Farina on 37 can level with Laguta on 43 if Laguta, of course, doesn't score. So for Farina, he has to win this race to stay in the chance of winning the title. Unlikely. Mikkelsen needs a win to prolong it and leave Laguta with a race to win in Heat 19.
Yeah, and Leon Madsen, as we just heard, was saying that, he'd like to be on the podium. So the way these guys finish could be a knock-on to whether or not he's going to have a chance of that, and to be a nice consolation prize for Leon Madsen as well as he's done this whole season. But the injuries definitely stopped him. But this Heat 17 will tell a good story as well.
Certainly a podium finish after missing a round be quite some achievement. Jarek Hampel off the inside, Mikkelsen gate 2, Kasper Farina gate 3, Anders Thompson off the outside. These are all in the shake-up for top 6 tonight. Hampel's picked up 6 without being really spectacular. You've got Thompson on 7, Farina on 8, Mikkelsen on 9, so they're all in the frame. Be interesting to see well, A, who wins, but B, who misses out. Can Hampel make advantage of the inside gate to put himself in with a chance of a place in the last chance? Or will Mickelson and Farina give themselves a chance of making the final direct? Mickelson trying to keep the pressure on Laguta, the rider in blue. Farina also chasing hard. Mickelson makes a race down there in blue. Farina just outgated. Thompson gets the big run round the outside going, and Mickelson lifting, and Thompson gets squeezed down by Farina. Off then too. Mickelson leads. Farina strongly down the inside, can't make it stick, and Mickelson still wins lead here ahead of Casper Farina. Anders Thompson in third place, battling hard. Jarek Hampel out the back, but Mickelson will fight on here to keep the pressure on Laguta.
What a superb start. Just that bike pulled into the first corner. His reaction were absolutely perfect. Brianna didn't make that gate 3 work for him, but at least he's going to hold on to 2 points, but Mickelson knows what he wants to do, and he's out.
Mickelson, the winner in Boyens, and heading through to the closing stages here and making sure Laguta will have to score big points in his last programme ride. 1 lap to go here, and Farina on the threat from Thompson, who has raced really well since changing bikes and is really throwing things at Farina. Can't quite make a pass. Jarek Hampel fading out the back. 1 last chance here on the last bend for Anders Thompson on Casper Farina, who overslides slightly. It's a win for Mickelson. Farina just hangs on for second over Anders Thompson by half a bike length or thereabouts, and Mickelson on to 12 points in the meeting. He's 1 behind Laguta, who rides in Heat 19, so Laguta will need to win that race to seal the title there. Heat 17, the winner is Mickelson, Farina second, Thompson third.
Wow. How the story gets told, we'll never know the finish until a couple more heats. What just superb that he knew exactly what he needed to do, and the bike's working well, even though the track's been groomed. They're just pulling him. Every time he turns the bike, it just grabs a little bit more and pulls him. A squeeze out right there from Thompson, got it from Fiona. Fiona's really trying to, the crowd was going nuts right about there too, thinking they had a chance of coming underneath the Dane. Farina, the pole there, tried to please the crowd, but that second place is all he can get because Mickelson is on fire at the moment. And what a job for Hans Nielsen, the Danish team manager, having to deal with Leon Madsen's battle to get there, plus Mickelson's to hold on to that. He's got no favoritism, I'm sure, but this guy right here went out there and made sure he got those 3 points.
Farina actually dropped a chain on the slowdown lap and has had to push back in, so that's a bit unfortunate for him, and some mechanical work as he will be in the last chance race. Casper Farina. Thompson finishes with 8 points outside the top 6. Rather unfortunate, Anders Thompson. We never quite get to see that. He doesn't have the best of luck. We saw that 3 years ago in this series. Same again this year for Anders, but hopefully we'll see him back in the series again next year. And the top 6 on the night could be affected by the likes of Maxim Trabik and Michael Jensen, who are currently outside. There is Jensen in yellow on 6 points and could do with at least a second here, if not really a win, because he's not won a race yet. So Jensen could do with a win off that bogey outside gate. So it's not going to be easy. Bellego inside, Lambert gate 2, Hulkenberg back after his crash off gate 3. Can Jensen win off the outside, Sam?
Yeah, well, there we go. We'll keep pushing it on. We want somebody to win off that outside. Might even come down to the final race. You never know. But Mikkel Jensen has probably got his best chance if you're looking at the score chart of the 3 guys inside of him.
Well, he needs it, because if he doesn't make the semi tonight, the last chance, then he stands to lose out in the race for 5th place. If, for example, this McTarler scores good points in his last ride.
Critical race right now. Yeah, absolutely. Heat 18 on the start line. Watchers looking on. The track looks like it's riding quite well. Everybody's happy with that. By the time you get to the 4th race of a round, it gets a little bit dodgy, but this is only the 2nd one now.
Michael Jensen taking his time to come into line just out of your picture on the outside. He's there now, and the riders in line for this Heat 18. Bellego, Lambert, Hulkenberg and Jensen out the same score. Heat 18, that was up there by Hulkenberg, although he's actually proved himself. Robert Lambert has got to the gate in front. Robert Lambert gets to the first bend in front.
Look who's coming.
Now, Michael Jensen around the outside. Really needs to win this race, Michael Jensen. But Robert Lambert here has the lead. He's not had too much luck in the series so far this year, but this time he's got fresh air in front. He's got Michael Jensen chasing hard. Lambert leads Jensen.
Yeah, Jensen, does he want it hard? He's going to have to work Lambert down the bridge. Can't make a mistake. He's holding a good line right. Oh, just a little bit wide right there. The Dane's got got half a chance to catch up to him. He's going to go to the high line right now, but he's got to contend with the heavy dirt. We heard Leon Madsen say and confirm that I see it already. That dirt is hard on you whenever you're behind.
But Michael Jensen is developing plenty of speed around the outside. He's going round Lambert here as they start up. Lambert comes him on. Jensen going wider, picking up speed. Lambert covers the inside off bend too. And again, Jensen tries to bring him back in. Valego in third, but it looks like Lambert should see him off. Jensen turns it back off at 4. Lambert wins heat 18. Lambert gets a victory to end the series at least on a high. A tough series for Robert Lambert, not helped of course by a couple of big crashes in Russia and then in this series in Turin, but he gets a race victory at the end here in Horzów and finishes on 6 points on the night. As I say, not the season he would have wanted, but he does get a good race win out of heat 18. Michael Jensen in second place will not continue in the meeting tonight, and that will give Bartosz Smektara the chance to steer a top 5 place overall.
Nice to see Robert Lambert. That was a little bit messy out of the start right there, but the GB rider in the blue right there didn't see any of that going on to the right of him with the German Kai Hülkenberg just moving a little bit. The referee didn't stop that race because he punished himself, but on the outside, Mikko Jesper Jensen in the yellow there almost became the first race winner from gate number 4 because he had a chance going up on the high line right here because nobody was on the inside of him, bar the Brit. The Brit there comes up out of turn 2, gets some speed, had to defend a little bit there, ride the right exact line. The bike's working a little bit better for Robert Lambert. It hasn't really been giving him any big points. He's definitely a quality rider, and we can see that he negotiated the track quite well, so he's probably thinking, oh, finally, a race win.
Indeed, finally a race win for Robert Lambert in heat number 18. He finishes his series on 18 points. Heat 19 is next up, where we could see the title decided. Heat 19 in Horzów, Bartosz Smektara off the inside gate, Václav Milik in blue off gate 2, Jurita Pavlic in yellow off the outside, Grigory Laguta in white off gate 3. A race win here for Laguta makes him Speedway Euro champion. He would be 4 points in front of Mikkel Mikkelsen, who could only score 3 more. Also a big race for Bartosz Smektara. We've just seen Michael Jensen move to 35 points. Smektara's got 33. This will be his last ride. He can't make the last chance, so Smektara needs at least a second here, realistically, to keep in the fight for top 5. He's 1 behind Leon Madsen as well, who will of course continue in the meeting. But all about here, Laguta, can he win this race and take the title?
Well, gate 3 is not so bad now, so he does have a half a good chance. But Václav Milik just on the inside was a quite handy gator, and so Smektara. So I don't think he'll have it all his own way. He'll have to race for it.
Grigory Laguta off gate number 3. 1 point in front of Mikkel Mikkelsen in the standing. Away they go. Laguta has not made the best of starts first, and then Milik and Laguta right on top there on the first bend. And Smektara has the advantage. And Laguta is going through. He's squeezed out by Milik. And this again throws things wide open. Smektara leads. Laguta parries way through. Past Milik, there's some payback there. And Laguta moves through into second place. Bartosz Smektara has the lead. We said he had to win the race, really. He leads from Laguta, Milik in third, and Laguta has second place here.
Yeah, Laguta's got to deal with the dirt. Look how close he got, but just overshot the corner a little bit right there, slowed himself down a bit. There's Smektara from that inside gate. He's got some clean air right now. Laguta did a fabulous first lap to get himself into the second position.
This would put Laguta 3 points in front of Mikkelsen, so Mikkelsen would have to win the final with Laguta at the back if it stays this way, and then they'd have a run off the title, but still very much in Laguta's favour, and Smektara putting himself in play for the top 5. Laguta holds the second. Milik is third over Jurita Pavlic. Bartosz Smektara race leads round turn 3 and 4. Laguta finishing fast down the inside. Smektara will win heat 19 over Grigory Laguta. Milik in third place over Pavlic. Big win for Bartosz Smektara in the series overall. Moves him back up to 4th place in the standings in the fight for top 5. And Laguta is forced to wait for the Speedway Euro Championship title because Mikkel Mikkelsen still has a glimmer of hope. Smektara wins heat 19. Laguta, such a strong race against Václav Milik. Milik in third, Pavlic at the back.
Shows the class of the Russian in the white helmet color right there. Gets a big bump right there, but for the Czech rider, that's Milik then trying to find it. Found a little bit of drive as he actually did that, but here we can see the start that Laguta tried to get in there. Milik's trying to hold the bike down. He gets a bit of a shunt right there from the inside.
A bit of a shunt, son.
Yeah, a bit of a shunt. It pushes him wide. It's all about racing for it. And I tell you what a composed lap did Gregor Laguta put together there. He didn't panic. He got himself into all kinds of mischief coming out of here and said, right, how am I going to do this right? He got in there, and even to the finish line, he came very close to Smictala, but Smictala had his own race right there, but it was good to see Laguta get himself together and hold on and get 2 points out of this race.
Smictala has taken a great hand from the crowd here and is wheeled at the back straight because he has secured his place in next year's series with that race victory. Leon Madsen can catch him, but Michael Jensen cannot. So Bartosz Smictala, a great first year in the series for him, and he'll be back again next year, the current world under-21 champion. Laguta, as I say, 3 points in front of Mikkelsen. The interest, though, is in the fact that in Heat 20, we have Pavel Szepelski going in blue. If he scores a point, he puts Laguta out of tonight's final and forces him to do the last chance, whereas Mikkelsen will be in tonight's final. Yes. Mikkelsen's got 12, Laguta's got 11. Szepelski's already got 11, so a point for Szepelski moves him back above Laguta, and then Laguta has to negotiate that last chance to even make the final. And throw in the fact that we've got Madsen, Lindback and Drabik in this race. And Drabik can still spoil someone's party. You've got Madsen on 8, Lindback on 8 and Drabik on 6. So again, all to ride for.
Yeah, we know what Leon Madsen wants to do. He wants to make sure he's in the opportunity to get a podium spot overall as well. So is that possible? I don't know. I don't think
he's got 34,
yeah,
and so if he wins this and then wins the final, and Farina doesn't score, then Madsen can still make the podium.
So they got that mathematically worked out. So it's going to be a fairly highly contested one here. Lindback is thrown in there in good measures coming out of gate 3. Drabik, we're looking at in the pictures right there, come from the outside gate. Not been a winner off that yet. We've had 8 off of the inside where Leon Madsen's sitting. We've had 8 off of where Szepelski's sitting out of gate number 2. And gate number 3 with Antonio Lindback sitting there, we've only had 3 race wins. So we've not still had one from Drabik where he sits on that outside gate. Could it be the first one? We're building it up. We hate to say.
Odds are very much stacked against Maxim Drabik, I have to say there. The man in yellow, such a strong race inside him. But we will see. There could be some action. We've seen the starting of Szepelski so far this evening. Madsen in red there is a fast start for himself. Madsen, Szepelski, Lindback and Drabik. If Szepelski scores, he'll be in the final. Made a good start. Not a fantastic start by Szepelski. Gets a nudge from Madsen on turns 1 and 2. Round the outside comes Drabik. Madsen, Drabik can't quite make it. How did he pop on there? Drabik goes to the back. He almost made it from last to first. Madsen's got the advantage. Szepelski in second, and crucially, this will put Laguta in the last chance race and not directly in the final. Madsen leads from Szepelski.
Way the wheels roll. This is it right here. Both these guys, Leon Madsen out there, Szepelski, both have plenty of speed. Both of them have been rapidly scoring big points. Szepelski's dropping another point in his contest here. And at the end there, right there, Drabik's giving up the ball there.
Maxim Drabik has packed up. I will wait for the replay to see how close he came to defence on the back straight when he almost came around everyone. Leon Madsen race leads from Szepelski, and Szepelski will be the meeting leader going into the final. He'll get the gate choice. He could be the winner here in Horshoff. We will see. Madsen has the advantage over Szepelski. It's Lindback in third. They come round turns 3 and 4 to complete each 20, and Leon Madsen battling on to try and be in the top 3 in the series. He wins it. Second place, Szepelski, who goes through into the final with that. Lindback in third. Drabik at the wild card is walking back after parking the bike on the infield, but a win for Leon Madsen confirms him with a second gate pick in the last chance. Szepelski with that second place is in the final along with Mikkel Mikkelsen, and Laguta will have to negotiate a race against Madsen, Farina and Lindback. Otherwise, if he goes out there and Mikkelsen wins the final, then we could be set for a runoff. So the pressure's still on Laguta. He has to do an extra race to just make that final. Madsen wins Heat 20, Szepelski second, Lindback third.
Well, I know that when you're a champion, you want to win it. It doesn't have to be the hard way all the time, but it looks like Laguta's going to have to do it the hard way. Look at the start that Szepelski thought he had it made right there, but then Madsen held a nice inside line, but in the yellow on the outside right there was Drabik. He was just the guy in the wrong place at the wrong time. And And he was getting some nice drive right there, really good done. Just ran out of room.
I think he knew when to shut the ball off, didn't he?
A good save there too. You know, it could have went either way there, but there was just a natural progression from Leon Madsen and Sapolsky, both racing for something right there. Just ran out of track is all it was. Drabek, if he could have got himself a little bit further in front there, he might have been able to dictate what the other two riders were going to do, but then it would have been pretty much a hairy moment as it was already. Leon Madsen, the winner of that heat number 20.
Madsen wins to go into the last chance with Laguta, Varina and Limbach. Sapolsky and Mikkelsen in the final. Laguta leads Mikkelsen by 3 in the series. 2 races to come. Back here in Horzów, round 4 of the Speedway Euro Championship. 20 races completed. We have the last chance and the meeting final to be run, and we still have the championship to be confirmed. Here's how things stand after heat 20. Pavel Sapolsky has really shaken things up. He leads the leaderboard after 20 heats. He's in the final along with Mikkel Mikkelsen, who could still win the series. Gregory Laguta, Leon Madsen, Kasper Varina and Antonio Limbach complete the top 6, and those last 4 names will be in the last chance. Laguta is 3 points in front of Mikkelsen. He needs to make the final first of all. If he doesn't, he'll have a nervous wait to see if Mikkelsen wins that final and keeps things pushed on. The race for top 5 is sorted out. Laguta, Mikkelsen, Varina, Madsen and Smektala are the top 5 in whatever order. The race for third place is still on. If Leon Madsen can outscore Kasper Varina by 2 or 3 points in the final, should they both make it, then there could be a runoff or indeed a third place for Madsen versus Varina in that. But really, the main thing is the series title itself. As we await Mikkel Mikkelsen, we know he's in the final. He has to win that final and hope that Laguta fails to score, either by making the final and coming last, or by making a mess of the last chance, which comes up next. And Sam, you're expecting inside gate picks.
Yeah, well said there, Dave. That was.
I think that sorts it all out.
Yeah, I think you worked out. You didn't confuse me, that's for sure.
That's a first.
Yeah,
we send our thanks once again to Mr. Candy Soft.
There you go, absolutely. Yeah, these inside gates are probably going to be the favorite. Here we go. Yep, just as I thought.
Straight to red for Laguta.
Yep.
Of course, we have a unique way of picking the gates here in Horzów. They walk out toward this is actually the tunnel they're walking out of effectively, and that's where the board is. And so Laguta takes the inside gate for the last chance. Leon Madsen will be next.
Yeah, no doubt he'll go for the blue.
Madsen, who could still finish 3rd overall, takes the blue helmet colour. And Kasper Varina, who made the final here last year and has been making finals consistently in this series this year. Fantastic second place in Voyens a few weeks ago. Kasper goes for white, which will leave poor old Antonio Limbach, who made the final and came 2nd here last year, and has been pretty quick tonight throughout the meeting. Going to be stuck off the outside gate, which has not provided a single winner and has provided also by far the lowest points total for Antonio Limbach.
Because it's a man-made track, they can alter it if they wished and change the inside line. But the way it's been riding so far, these guys are really struggling to get through the first corner and be able to not get that roost. Looking for one of these guys to make a mistake from the inside is what the guy from the outside would have to be hoping for.
Reminder, top 2 go into the final from this race. They can't score any points from this race, but Laguta, as far as the winning the series is concerned, wants to put himself in the final. Madsen and Varina in that scrap for 3rd overall. They could do either each other plenty of damage by going through with the other one missing out. So an important race here to set things up for the final.
Yep.
And hard, as you say, hard to build momentum around this track. We've seen a couple of outside moves, but quite often they've tried the outside on that 4th bend and they've actually lost ground by doing it. I think it's come more to them as the meeting has gone on. Yeah. But over an entire lap, hard to really know where to be exactly to build that speed up.
They get plenty of speed down the straightaway and coming off the corners. They just got to avoid going into the corners, the roost from the back wheel. As soon as they get into the corner and they're getting the bike broad sliding through the corner, it's so difficult to avoid the dirt flying off the guy's rear wheel, and it just slows them down. We heard Leon Madsen during his interview saying, you know, it's very difficult to not and to avoid the dirt coming off of him. And then after a couple of races, which we're not going to see here because this is the last chance race, and then it's going to be the final. The track should be set up really good for the final. But it's difficult. You got to make the start. You can see them talking about it right there. And then if you just get behind the back wheel of somebody, and they'll just instantly slow you down.
So it's the last chance is next up, and riders just taking some notes from some of their colleagues as they prepare to go out. Casper Verina is the rider in white. There is Laguta, who has got it all to win and, in some ways all to lose if he somehow doesn't. You can't. The way Laguta's ridden has been superb after that first ride last place.
Yes,
he's really had put himself in some difficult situations and got through them. You can't see him not making it, but if he doesn't, then the pressure is really on for Mickelson to go and win the final.
Yeah, I did kind of call at the start of the thing. I think we talked about it. You asked me who my favorite was. I reckon.
You said him, yeah.
I said Laguta's most likely because he's had time to think about it coming into this beautiful stadium, soaking up the atmosphere, having the points in front of everybody else, putting the test on you by getting a 0 in your first race. And that just builds character, and even no matter what it is, he's still building his character up right now. He's in the last chance race. He's on the inside gate. We know what that's producing. That's had 9 wins so far. Leon Madsen was the last person to win off the inside. He is now coming out of gate number 2. And he's got Vriona, the crowd favorite, coming out of 3. So Laguta's got a lot to gain coming from that inside gate.
Getting a lot of place there.
Yeah, and it comes down to, he's just got to make a clean start. Hopefully they don't rub elbows going into the first corner and to mess up his drive. And that's exactly what somebody on the outside like Antonio Lindback would be hoping for. Again, he's got to negotiate when he turns the bike. If he doesn't make a good enough start, he's going to turn the bike, he's going to get all the roost from the back wheels, or he's going to make a good enough start and see exactly what happened in the last race when somebody gets pinned up against the wall.
I think Lindback needs a bit of not carnage, but something to happen inside him. We will see. Laguta inside, Madsen gate 2. Verina has got the backing of the crowd who are rising for Casper Verina at the start line. They're really keen to see him go in the final again this year, just like in 2018, and in doing so that would really help his challenge for an overall rostrum finish in his first year as a full-time rider in the series, taking their time to come into line. No points on this race, 2 places in the final.
Yeah, and the temperature has definitely dropped here in Horzov, so the bike setups now will probably be looking for a little bit more horsepower. The track is a bit of a horsepower-sucking track. Can Lindback make it from that outside? He's got plenty of speed earlier on.
Laguta inside, Madsen gate 2, Verina gate 3, Lindback on the outside. Away they go, the last chance, and Madsen now gate to Laguta, and so is Casper Verina. Verina round the outside, Laguta stuck in 3rd place. Drama here, and he could be in last place as Lindback goes charging through. Lindback goes inside Laguta. Laguta is sent out wide on turn 3 and 4. Madsen leads, Verina 2nd, Lindback 3rd, Laguta at the back. It's all on here, and Mickelson watching on is going to see that Laguta is running a last place to going out here.
You can build it up any way you want to, but when the clutch drops, this is what happens. The Dane's out front. Leon Madsen knows he wants to make sure he finishes on the podium. Laguta comes back on the inside of the sweep. And Lindback, is he going to get him down the back straight? He does.
He certainly is, but now can he get past Casper Verina with just a lap to go, and Verina out of shape on turn 4. Laguta moving in here. It's Madsen with the advantage. Verina 2nd, Laguta 3rd, doing all he can. He's throwing up the inside here for Gregory Laguta. Verina holds him off. Verina really shuts him down into event 3 and 4. That could finish him off. It's Madsen with the victory. It's Verina in 2nd. It's Laguta going out from the night. And Mickelson could level the scores overall if he wins the final. Leon Madsen wins it. 2nd place, Casper Verina. They will scrap on for 3rd place overall. Gregory Laguta's night is over. Or is it? Because if Mickelson wins the final, Laguta will have to go again. This series is not done just yet. Madsen and Verina, it's the final. Laguta and Lindback go out.
Are the crowd excited at the fact that Verina made it through into 2nd, or is it the anticipation of who's going to win this series? It's coming down to the last races. Leon Madsen in the blue helmet color makes the best start of the night when it counts. Coming out of gate number 2, gets himself in front. Antonio Lindback makes a nice cutback to steal into 3rd position. But Verona, the crowd favorite, holds on to that 2nd place and just makes sure that Laguta has to work overtime to be able to have a chance there. And I tell you what, another lap, the way it finished, you might have put the money on Laguta to actually get himself into that second position here. As the race tails down to the end, Laguta in red on the inside takes care of Lindback, closes stages of this last chance race, puts the pressure on Briona. Briona doesn't really know where anybody is. I can probably feel him right now, but just wanted to hold on to his perfect line through the corner, and that was enough to seal the deal.
Big ride for Casper Verina, although he loses out to Leon Madsen there in the race for third place overall. It means Verina takes a 2-point lead over Madsen into that final, which of course is a scoring race. So that's advantage Verina very firmly in that particular battle with one race to go. But, well, now Grigori Laguta may not win this series on the track. We'll have to wait and see what happens in the final, because Laguta will not be in the final. Leon Madsen will be, as will Casper Verina. Championship title battle if he wins the grand final here in Horzów.
Wow.
Leon Madsen makes it into the final in Horzów along with Casper Verina, but the series leader Grigori Laguta misses out, and that opens the door for Mikkel Mikkelsen in the grand final. But it's not going to be an easy one for him. For a start, throw in he's not the wild card, but he is ridden a bit like one tonight. Pavel Shepelski has been making rocket ship starts, and he'll get the first gate pick in the grand final.
The things that's going to confuse him, is it the inside gate or is it number 2? He's going to have to make that choice right there. We've just seen what Leon Madsen did out of gate number 2, so Shepelski going to have to really think hard here whether or not he thinks he can actually make gate to 1 work or 2. Mikkelsen will be having the second choice, as we've already highlighted the fact, and I don't think he'll mind where he starts, Mikkelsen, right now, because he's actually going quite good out of the starts.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is going to be another interesting one.
What went wrong for Laguta? Because he had gate 1, the obvious pick, and for some reason he didn't quite make it. He got closed into the first bend, but then he just got beaten up every time he went, and it took him 2 laps to get going.
I think we could maybe say the pressure might have got to him.
Maybe.
You know, just making that one. I mean, look, I can't say from sitting where I'm at, but I'm looking at the starting box. Look at all those grooves in there. I know nobody else can see what we see, Dave, but we're right over the top.
Above the start,
yeah, okay. There's like a groove every tire width, isn't there?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And look, in gate 2, there's only a couple of grooves, 3 or 4 of them. There's room on both inside and outside of the box too. So there's some better choices, I think, coming out of gate number 2.
So it will be interesting to see what these riders pick, particularly the ones with the first choice. Pavel Shepelski is the one who will be going first in the final, and we're about to find out what they take here for a massive race in Horzów. Pavel Shepelski goes to gate 2.
Blue.
Gate 2, so following the lead, or following what happened in the last chance, and we have seen Shepelski do it from gate 2 earlier in the meeting. So Mikkel Mikkelsen, who can, he will have the next pick, and will he go back to the inside? Yes, he will. I think that's probably all he could do there, and that will leave. And now we have the scrap for third overall with Madsen and Verina. Verina is currently 2 points in front of Madsen in that scrap, and Verina could mathematically finish second if he wins the final and Mikkelsen fails to score. But Leon Madsen is deliberating.
He's got to go for white, but he must think of something different.
Yeah. He's gone for white.
Yep.
He's gone for white, leaving Verina to take yellow in this final. 3-2-1-0 point scoring as usual in the final. There's how they'll line up across the gates. Mikkel Mikkelsen will be off the inside. Pavel Shepelski, who has been probably the most consistent gater here this evening, he's off gate 2. Leon Madsen gate 3, and Casper Verina, and the fans can see these pictures on the big screen. That's why there's the big reaction for him. Making yet another final. Verina has been superb in terms of making finals lately, and really has established himself in the series. It's his fourth final. He's only been going really a couple of wild cards before this season as a full-time rider. Szepelski in his second final finished second in Torun some 4 years ago as a wild card. Pavel Szepelski. Mikkel Mikkelsen makes the final for the fourth time, and Leon Madsen gets his sixth successive final when you bear in mind he missed out in Boyens, and that is a record. No one's ever made 6 successive finals in the Speedway Euro Championship.
Yeah, when things are going your way, as they've been going for the day, and it's nice to see he's got a chance now to top it off here and even possibly win this final round and mess up the scores for everybody, really.
Yeah, I'll say 6 successive finals, obviously for him personally, not the series as a whole, but really impressive. But how do you call this final with so many, the race itself, but so many subplots behind it, with the title race, with one of the contenders not in the race, the third place battle as well. There's so much that could happen.
How many times have we been in this final of the Speedway Euro Championships, and there's been combinations
well,
that
it reminds me of Rybnik 3 years ago.
Yeah,
it really does.
Go,
Rybnik was the outstanding finale, where in fact we went to the start line for the final and everyone could win it.
That's it. That was amazing. Yeah, we just had a little shot there with Laguda standing there with this cap on in the pits, kind of in a daze, like, oh man, I gotta wait now. Yeah. I gotta wait.
Let's underline that once again. He's got 45 points. It might be a winning score. It will be a winning score if Mikkelsen doesn't win the final. If Mikkelsen does win the final, he'll be on 45 as well, and they'll go again.
There we go. So look at that face. The stories are there right now.
He was the European champion back in 2011 when it was run in a completely different format, nowhere near as high profile, a one-off meeting. Won it in the Ukraine, I seem to recall. But obviously this is a far greater. In fact, in that 2016, he missed a round and almost won it.
Yeah,
he came on a mega run and didn't quite do it.
Lokomotiv Stadium in Daugavpils, remember that?
That's right, it was sensational.
Yes.
So, yeah, got quite a history, and obviously there have been off-track escapades as well for Laguta, but certainly on it, you can't knock the way he's ridden tonight. Really gone for it, but it just didn't quite work out in that last chance.
Yeah, and you can't really put the reasons why. He had the first choice gate positions in the last Chad's race. He just had a better rider out of gate 2, which was Leon Madsen, to get over the top of him and box him in. That story could be told one more time
and that's
here.
That's what could save him here if Szepelski gapes and gets over Mikkelsen.
That's it.
So they're coming into line for the final. Here's the grand final here in Horshoff. Will it be the final race? We don't know, because any tie for the lead or for third place, or indeed for second, which is possible, would go to a runoff. So we'll have to wait and see on that. Mikkel Mikkelsen off the inside. There's Kasper Verina off the outside. Leon Madsen off gate 3 in white. Szepelski, what a night he has had. He goes in blue. There he is off gate 2. And Mikkel Mikkelsen off the inside, the winner in Boyens, and he has to win this race to keep his title hopes alive. We go to the last race, sort out the title.
This is it. Nice. And Laguda is just standing. I can see him. Just standing, looking over the top of the fence behind the start line. And wait to see what his destiny is.
Laguta is still in the box seat just about, but it's still in his hands to win the series, because even if Mikkelsen wins this race, Laguta will still get a second go. There he is, hanging over the fence just about 10 yards back from the start line. Hoping and praying the rider in red doesn't win the race. We will see. What a night. Fans making plenty of noise for Kasper Verina, who's got the top draw here off the outside. They'd be also pretty happy to see Szepelski, have plenty of support, win this one.
Yeah,
Mikkelsen.
This track is ridden pretty well. They haven't graded it for the final. They're ready to go.
Here we go, the big final. Mikkel Mikkelsen in red needs to win the race. Szepelski, Madsen, and Verina complete the lineup. And Mikkelsen made a pretty good start, but Szepelski's ready. Mikkelsen gives Szepelski a job, and Mikkelsen does lead the final. Mikkelsen over Madsen. Szepelski around the outside, gets around Madsen. Madsen back inside him. Madsen is brutally strong there on Szepelski. But whilst they're battling away, Mikkel Mikkelsen is pulling clear. Mikkelsen race lead from Madsen with Szepelski as third. Verina out the back. It's looking good here for Mikkel Mikkelsen.
Close at the back.
Verina third.
It just gets in there underneath, and the crowd's going nuts.
That's a big result for Verina. If he gets to third place, then but he's going to lose it against Szepelski. But if Verina gets to one place behind Madsen, he'll be third overall. But Mikkelsen still leads here.
Oh, Mikkelsen's done the job right now. He's got a fellow Dane behind him. That's Leon Madsen keeping him honest.
We could have 2 runoffs here the way things are going, because we could between Madsen and Verena again, and we're going to see, it looks like, well, here goes Madsen trying to get up Mickelson on the final lap here. Could he spoil Mickelson's party? Leon Madsen down the inside. Mickelson holds it round turn 3 and 4. Back-to-back Speedway Euro Championship wins for Mickelson. Mickelson wins in Horjov, and the title race goes on. Mickelson wins it. Second place Madsen. Third place Szapelski. Mickelson does the double. Voyens and Horjov, and this dramatic series will go to a dramatic end. Mickelson wins the grand final. Leon Madsen second. He outscores Verena by 2 points. They'll have to go again. We've got more drama to come here in Horjov.
Nice. That's what we like to see. You can slow down a little bit there, Dave. That was excellent commentary there, no doubt about it. Mickelson knew what he had to do. He had the first choice, or second choice, was it? That's right, second choice. Guys, at the gate position on the inside. We've Szapelski's seen that second gate produce the goods in the last chance race, and he tried to make it happen here. Double it right there. Szapelski in blue, but he was the biggest loser out of the whole thing in this right here. Look at Leon Madsen in the white helmet color, already looking to see what plan B is going to be. He lets him get out of the way here as Mickelson gives Szapelski a big of a shot right there, which shuts the door off for Verena, which does a great job to get himself up in there anyway to get that third place, which is critical position and point-wise for a runoff now, as David has just told us. And this is excellent racing. They're all out there battling. Leon Madsen really showing his class right there to hold on to get that second place, even coming down to the end of the race to put Mickelson under a bit of pressure. And they didn't fold, that's for sure. But as they're throwing blows left, right, and center out there, the way this thing ended off has put us in a really good position here to see some more racing here at this 358-meter racetrack.
So confirmation, we will have 2 extra races, a third place runoff overall between Casper Verina and Leon Madsen, and a runoff for the title between Gregory Laguta and Mikkel Mickelson. What a scrap that was between Szapelski and Verina, putting Szapelski on the podium tonight in third place behind Leon Madsen, with Mickelson the meeting winner, and that moved Verina 2 points behind Madsen in the race, and means they're level on 39 points in the series. Mickelson's won the meeting. He's got back-to-back victories. That was last done by Leon Madsen, back-to-back in Daugavpils and Horjov last year, and Laguta knows there's another race to win here.
Yeah, that's right. He's got to get it all set up right there. And you know, you got to build yourself up a little bit. You know, that's probably where maybe he failed. But he's got, his last race wasn't good, was it? So he's got to say, right, how am I going to get myself going here to make this work? And that's a character building thing now. But he's a mature rider. He should be able to bounce himself back up there and get on the start line and hopefully pull up the goods.
Well, Mickelson's got momentum with him, hasn't he? Race winning, and I presume there'll be a coin toss for who gets gate choice, inside, outside. It will be obviously Verina and Madsen to go first.
Yep.
But they're level. So let's just confirm the top 5. We know Smektala is 5th on 36, so he's in for next season. This is overall standings. And then we've got Verina and Madsen level on 39, and they'll be in a runoff shortly. And we've got Mickelson and Laguta level on 45, and they'll be in a runoff for the title.
Sweet.
We've not had this before, have we?
Never. No.
We have mentioned Ribnik, but
yeah. And this track, you know, they're out there grading the track right now too, so the boys will be able to negotiate this thing on a bit of a fresh track. So it might be inside gates might be an advantage more than they've been, but only time to see.
Just being confirmed that rather than a coin toss, it will be a draw for. Basically, they'll draw a ball for their helmet colour in his runoff. So it's simply like a ballot. You pick out the coloured ball. So I assume they'll give him red or white. I assume.
Yeah, the inside or outside. Yeah, that'll be it. Then they'll be able to choose which box they want to go, whether they're gates
then you would
3
have,
or 4.
Yeah, you would have the whole of gates 1 and 2 available to you.
Yeah,
and 3 and 4.
And I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, you can almost start on the white line. I think if you
in the middle.
Yeah, in the middle. I think you can.
We'll see how they prepare that start line once the track work has gone on.
Yeah.
Wow, goodness me. Laguta, fear a bit for him because he's put everything into it, but you have to say well done to Mikkel Mickelson. And it also shows, by the way, you mentioned earlier that Mickelson wasn't fully fit earlier in the series, but he kept on battling away, picked up a couple of race wins in Güstrow and Torun, didn't make the final, but did get himself towards the end in sensible points totals. You can see him having work done on himself there.
Yeah, I mean, he's a super nice guy, too.
Absolutely.
Whenever I talked to him at the beginning of the series and when he was kind of recuperating from some of his bangs, you know, just shucked it off and says, well, you just got to do your best job, and he's done a great job.
Yeah, really has come on strong. He came into this series last year. Mikael Mikkelsen has been a really popular addition, and yeah, the 7 points he got in Güstrow and the 8 he got in Torun are proving crucial now to add to the 15 he's taken from the next two. Absolutely vital. 45 points is a fairly low winning score in this series. Madsen scored 56 last year, and Lebedev's got 52 a couple of years ago. But 45 will be the winning score, but we don't know who it's going to be. Mikael Mikkelsen could become Speedway Euro champion. The Danes will be delighted if he is. Gregory Laguta, who has looked to have control of the series. Bearing in mind, we went to Voyens, people were saying Laguta's going to virtually seal it here in Voyens. Didn't happen, and look where we are now.
Yeah, exactly. Good call. Good call. Yeah, these guys are all racers. You know, they want to do the best thing they can do, but when the pressure's on, you got to deal with the facts that you know, it's a man-made track. They have to take that in consideration. It's not as they don't race. This is first. You know, they raced on it before, but it is a brand new racetrack for everybody, isn't it?
They changed it this year as well. So.
Yeah, and the lines, they have to learn these lines all in the practice they had earlier on, and plus in the race conditions. And you know, the track is ever changing whenever they're out there, and dealing with the fact that you know, the dirt's heavy. If you get behind a rider, it's difficult to make a pass because you got to deal with the fact that. The dirt's going to slow you down.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here's the draw for gate positions. This is a race for third place overall. Casper Verina and Leon Madsen. And Madsen looks like he's going to have the pick.
In this position, you'd almost think that Leon Madsen's got a better head game, I would think. You know, he
in terms of experience.
Just the ore he's in right now, the form he's in. And Briona, though, is going to have the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
That crowd behind him.
Yeah.
So, you know, the fact that, you know, both these riders are going to be boosted for different reasons. One is because he's been under immense pressure a lot this year, and that's Leon Madsen and the top sides. What are they trying to do? Trying to
see what the papers are like.
Okay. Yeah. They're in a fishbowl.
Yeah, very much so. It's going to be Leon's pick, it would appear.
Yeah. He's going to go in there. He's going to go.
Leon Madsen makes his choice. And Verina gets the inside on that basis.
Yep.
Verina gets gate A. Verina gets the inside gate. Madsen, I think, is probably just checking there exactly. I'm sure that means Madsen can go where he wants off 3 and 4.
Yes.
It's probably not so crucial when there's only 2 in the race. More space to work with.
Yeah,
but still, that inside.
Well, we know how fast Leon Madsen's bike seemed to be going earlier on when he got his wheels in line, how he accelerated down the back straightaway and even the front straightaway to keep some really good pressure on whoever he was racing against or winning a race. And Briona's done equally as well to keep the speed up. But Leon Madsen only has scored 1 more point than he did overall. But still, here we go.
This is for the title itself. The third place race will come first, but this is the race for the title. The 2 that scored 45 points in total, Mikael Mikkelsen and Gregory Laguta, fighting for the Speedway Euro Championship title. Who's going to have the pick? It looks like Mikael's going to have the pick. Gregory's not even going to pick his...
Yeah, he doesn't really need to, does he? All he's got to do is
Mikael Mikkelsen. Let's have a look.
Puts it back.
That's an 8, right? So right. So Gregory's got the inside, and Mikael has got the outside.
Fair play.
Mikael and Gregory with a little smile. I think you have to say that puts him in the box seat. But then again, he started high in the box seat, and it didn't quite work out. So there's how we have it. Casper Verina against Leon Madsen. And Gregory Laguta up against Mikael Mikkelsen. There we go.
It's cooled right down to these guys will be contending, you know, whether they can follow the setups, whether that's a factor or not. Wouldn't think that they would
Well, Mikkelsen coped well with the gap. He didn't ride in the last chance, but still came out and dominated the final.
Yep.
So he'll take that with him. It's just whether Mikkelsen has got the confidence to ride round Laguta on the first bend. I think that could be important.
Yep. How hard will they play? That's what it comes down to.
I think they'll play hard.
Yep.
I think Laguta has played very hard tonight. He's been trying to work his way through.
And only 2 riders in the race. That's just going to be a different whole set of rules, really, because there's nobody else to move you around. And sometimes you rely on the other riders to move a rider out of the way.
We've seen that 2 or 3 times tonight. Yeah. But they have to wait because the race for third place comes first, obviously. So we have the big finish. We'll see the title decided in the very last race of the series in a runoff, which we haven't had. Certainly, we've been watching this event, you and I, Sam, since 2014. We've seen some big finishes, and always remember back in the day Peter Kilderman throwing everything at Emil Sapadinov in Czestochowa and not quite making it. That was a good one. We saw Lebedev's fend off pressure in Lublin. I mentioned Rybnik. Been all sorts going on, and then Madsen's perfect show last year. So we've seen some series, and this one has really come to the boil here tonight. To a runoff for third place and a runoff for the title itself.
Nice.
Casper Verina. You mentioned home crowd behind him.
Yep.
They'll be trying to...
well, that's what he's got to look forward to anyway. That's what's going to push him along.
And the 2-minute warning is on from the referee, Krista Gardell, for the first of our 2 runoffs here this evening. Verina with an inside gate, and as you said, Sam, they've painted one white line down the middle, which you'll see hopefully when we get a close-on, a head-on shot. There you go, the Star Marshal with the 1 line, and Casper at the moment looks like he's going in pretty much where they've been starting in gate 2.
Yes.
So we'll see where Leon goes. 2 bikes on the track at the moment for Leon Madsen, the outgoing series champion, trying to make the podium despite missing around earlier in the summer. He's happy with bike number 1, it would appear. And Leon Madsen. So Verina is definitely going in a previously used starting position, pretty much on gate 2. Madsen heading to gate 3.
Yeah, which is started coming good towards the end, so he's got to be thinking to himself that at least he's not in a dead box.
Like gate 4.
Yeah, like gate 4. He's got that choice now to move where he wants to. But the best place to be really is you want to be next to your opponent if you can do. You know, if Verona really wanted to mess him up, he would start really closer to the other side of him, so there's no chance. But at least you can watch your competitor. You can go with him and know which way he's going to go. If you give him a big gap, you have to kind of go out of your way to slow him down, and that's losing your forward momentum. So here goes.
Casper Verina in red with the cheers of the fans here right behind him. Leon Madsen in white. This is a runoff for third place overall in the Speedway Euro Championship. From Madsen, better right out of it, and Casper Verina gets the advantage here over Leon Madsen. The crowd love that one. Verina leads from Madsen. He has a couple of bike lengths down the back straight. Verina got it perfect. Madsen so he did not. He jumped at the start, just when the tape went up. Verina took full advantage, and Casper Verina here leads on for his second lap. Can he finish third overall? Leon Madsen will chase him hard, but Verina has the advantage.
Yeah, Madsen's got a bit more speed now coming up on Verina, going to the high line right there, but he's going to be getting that dirt, which isn't a lot. It's clean from right there. He cuts back to the inside now, coming on Verina. Verina's just got to hold on to that middle of the racetrack and just clean the inside, make a little mistake right there.
Slight mistake by Verina, and Madsen's right back there now, trying to go around the outside. Got close this time. Verina right up, wide to block him. That might leave the hole on the inside of Madsen, and Verina's backed up. Verina's got mechanical trouble, and Madsen goes through. Might be a puncture, not to something blowing out of Verina's back. It's come to a stop, and Leon Madsen will come through for third place overall, and it's heartbreak for Casper Verina in front of his home crowd. Madsen wins the runoff and is third overall in the Speedway Euro Championship, and Verina just come out wide off fourth then. Whether that was the start of a problem, I don't know. But Madsen switched back as it happened. Verina's bike lost power, something went wrong, and he comes to a stop, and Leon Madsen is third in the Speedway Euro Championship.
Yeah, what a shame, but it's still a good race right there. The Dane pretty much made a big mistake, trying to anticipate the start a little bit, tried to roll a little bit. Verina got away there thinking this is his. Now he had a really good gap going on. Somewhere along the line, Leon Madsen just kept pushing, found some extra drive out of his bike. Would look like he was going to be able to put the big pressure on Viona, but then his bike packed up. Heartfelt for Casper Viona because the crowd are with him as he's walking across the center green to come back towards the pit area.
Well, Madsen completes a superb season with third place overall by winning that runoff. Verina has the long walk home across the centre green. The one consolation for Casper Verina is that he has booked his place, of course, in next year's series. But here's the start, Sam.
Yeah, out of the start right there. Leon just started to roll a little bit, and as he did that, it was all about Casper then just made a super start. I mean, if Leon Madsen wouldn't have rolled that little bit, who's to say what would have happened in the first corner? Let's just see if we can see anything going on with Veriona's bike here. Yeah, a little bit of smoke right there at the same time. Exactly. You called it, Dave. Whether or not that was a problem, and it sure was. Yeah, smoke coming out of it, yeah. So something's happened to the bike, or the chain got really hot or something and started to season up. We just don't know. You can take a bunch of gases there, but there's a lot of smoke coming out of the inside of the middle of the bike right there. As Leon Madsen was passing Viona, that was all she wrote.
There you go. Yeah. Something has gone horribly wrong, unfortunately, for Casper Verina, who missed out in the final on the night and misses out on the podium place overall. Shame for him, but a really good season overall, and I'm sure he'll be back to do it again next year. And I'm sure he'll be a contender. It is frustration, and you'll see that. There you go. It is real frustration for Casper Verina.
Well.
But, you know, he'll get over it, and when he reflects on the season as a whole, it's a really positive one. Leon Madsen, third place. The runoff for the title is coming next. At the start line, a runoff for the 2019 Speedway Euro Championship. Mikkel Mikkelsen in white going off basically gate number 3, or in between gate 3 and 4. Gregory Laguta off the inside gate in red. Seen his lead. Whittle back tonight under pressure. He's led the series. He's been taken to a runoff, Sam, for the title.
Wow, this is it. We just had Leon Madsen finish off the third place overall. So Hans Nielsen's been busy down there as a coach, keeping these guys straight. Yeah, and on the starting lines, another one of his riders facing the Russian Laguta. And Laguta's pretty much, it was his to lose tonight. He's got a second chance right now, sitting on that inside gate position, whether it's coming out of gate 2 or 1. He's right kind of on the line of gate 2 and 1. If there was a starting person on gate 1, he wouldn't be able to start there. So that's the advantage you're going to have. Whether it's a piece of fresh dirt, could get him into the first corner first.
The crowd are right behind Mikkelsen. That's due to Laguta's previous connections with Ribnik mainly, but we will see. It's a runoff for the Speedway Euro Championship. Gregory Laguta in red, Mikkel Mikkelsen in white, level on point, away they go. Laguta off the inside, just gets the bend in front of Mikkelsen, will power on, now try and turn back. Laguta mid-track then with speed. Mikkelsen in second place, almost went down the inside there. Laguta covered that one. They're doing that, makes a mistake. Laguta in huge trouble. Mikkelsen coming through. Mikkelsen takes the advantage. What happened to Laguta up on turn 3 and 4? Mikkelsen now race lead, and can he top on Laguta, who is going all out to pass him?
With the first back straightaway on that, I'd say Laguta has more speed than Mikkelsen, but Mikkelsen can't make a mistake as Laguta did already. Laguta got a chance now, just got to get alongside of him.
Head to head in Horsdorf, a lap and a half to go. Mikkelsen race leads, Gregory Laguta in second place. The European Championship rests on this. Laguta tries to move around the outside. Mikkelsen covers it once again. 1 lap to go into Danish Star. Mikkelsen leading the Russian Gregory Laguta. They got the back straight for the final time. Mikkelsen pulling clear. Any last gasp chance here for Gregory Laguta. His title is slipping away. The title goes to Denmark. Mikkelsen is Speedway Euro Champion 2019 in the most dramatic circumstances. He's reeled back in Laguta in Voyant and in Horsdorf, and he's passed Laguta in the runoff for the title. Sensational night in Horsdorf, sensational night and season for the champion, Mikkel Mikkelsen.
Well done, Mikkel Mikkelsen. Well done. Didn't fold. The pressure got to Laguta. The track bit him. He made the start. Both of these riders were going down the back straightaway, and I would favor Laguta. He had more speed than Mikkelsen. Laguta's mistake cost him dearly championship. It just went bad for him the tail end of tonight's evening. Laguta had a chance in the last chance race. Didn't work out for him, put him under immense pressure, and just seemed like everything went the Dane's way this
well, he's been brilliant.
Yeah,
he's been brilliant.
Absolutely.
And the celebrations are starting down by the pit gate for Mikkel Mikkelsen, a very likeable Danish rider. And see Michael Jensen going out to congratulate him while Laguta is taking a slow lap of honour. And he's getting some sporting applause too from the crowd here. But he must be gutted.
Absolutely. You know, it's a luck of the draw. These guys had a fishbowl to pull out their gate position. And Laguta had it. Laguta looked like he had it going in here. He did. He had so much speed there. He just comes in as he's negotiating the corner. The bike rears, and as soon as it rears, it throws him way off line. And luckily, Mikkelsen was in the right place at the right time. He was turning the bike back, going into turn 3 to get closer to the inside line, because he would have tried to have been already knowing that he's going to avoid the dirt if he was alongside Laguta. In the corners, that's what you have to do, and he was in the perfect position.
Well, you could say Mikkelsen stole it in the runoff, but that would be slightly unfair on the effort he has put in to claw himself level, and then the cars have just gone his way at the end of the night, and what a night, and what a finish for Mikkel Mikkelsen. And, well, all those, but just shows again, all those points, they very much count in the series. Mikkel Mikkelsen, the 2019 Speedway Euro champion. Horshoff crowd rising to the champion, Mikkel Mikkelsen. Who's going over the fence. Whether it's family and friends out there, I don't know.
Oh, there you go.
Remember,
he's going over 2 fences now.
Superb. There's an American, or the Brazilian IndyCar driver, Castro Neves, who climbs the fence when he wins races, and that's an equivalent there. Mikkel Mikkelsen.
Nice one.
Unbelievable celebrations here, and. Well, he wouldn't have seen it coming when he'd only got 15 points from 2 rounds. But we've seen so often this series create drama right at the end. Never give up. Keep on scoring points. Things could turn your way. Boy, oh boy, they turned his way, but he's made them turn his way.
Absolutely. Leon Madsen's missed a round, and look where he's sitting on third overall as well. So he's going to be equally happy to join that podium with his fellow Dane at the top of it.
Yeah, very much so. It's... Well, what a night. Never saw that coming at all. Go back to the pre-meeting in Voyens, where everything was stacked up for Laguta. I do feel for a bit, because he's ridden superbly, and even in that grand final picked up some unexpected drive at just the wrong time, but Mikkelsen was there to pounce.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, what a... he's going to make his way back to join us eventually for the presentations.
Yeah, what they say, you got to be in it to win it, you know what I mean? And that's what a racer needs. A racer just needs the room to race. And unfortunately for some, the conditions can dictate what happens. And in this case, Laguta thought he had that one. He did all the hard work by making the start down the back straightaway. They looked like they were equally as quick as each other, the way the pace was going down that back straightaway. And I wouldn't say there's a concentration lapse whatsoever from Laguta, but the fact that the track, if you ease off that little bit, you know, when you kind of feel you seal the deal by the time you get to turn 3. That's kind of what I've always said is a finish of the start. You make the start, get to the first corner, negotiate it, get your wheels in line, get your speed up, full speed going into 3. Just ease off that little bit, and it bites you.
But Laguta taking another lap. With the fans, who several have stayed, some have made their way out of the stadium now after a meeting that forward up to an incredible finale. But there's the burnout from Mikkel, who's just inside the pit area. And well, last year Leon Madsen in the end won it fairly comfortably here with an 18-point maximum. But this year it's gone right down to a huge finish. And Mikkelsen, let's not forget, had to win the final. He had the doors open when Laguta missed the final. But Mikkelsen still had to win that final and then go on and win the runoff with not the advantageous gate pick. So all you can say is well done, and a very worthy champion.
Absolutely. And a nice guy.
Very much so. Yeah, I think there'll be a lot of people down the up and down the pits who are happy with the result. There's nothing against Grigori Laguta, but Mikkel Mikkelsen gets the congratulations. We will shortly be getting the podium for the meeting itself tonight, although that will require the presence of Mikkel, because he did win the meeting as well, so that needs to happen. I definitely saw Pavel Shepelski making his way out at some point, some time ago.
Just see Laguna throw his arms down, his fists down, like, you know, that's hurting. That's hurting.
So well, you've been there, Sam. You've been the winner, and I'm sure you've been runner-up.
Yep.
And runner-up in that sort of situation. It was tough to take.
It is tough, you know. I mean, I kind of knew it was his to lose today, coming into this thing, the little bit of point lead he had. But, you know, I wouldn't say he'll just kicking himself because he had a chance and he lost
it.
The lead. Yeah, that's it.
So Mikkel Mikkelsen and Gregory Laguta now on their way out to the presentation area. We'll be seeing the podium very shortly for tonight's meeting, and also the Speedway Euro Championship. Just a reminder, please don't forget that we have on Friday, we're in Pardubice in the Czech Republic for the final of the Under-21 World Championship. Dominik Kubera, Maxim Drabik and Bartosz Smektana going for that one.
Look at that, they're inscribing the plaque as we speak. That's great.
But you can see some of the recent winners, Emil Saifedinov on there and Leon Madsen. It's a series which really has taken off in recent years. Presentations on the way in Horzów after a dramatic night of racing that has seen Mikkel Mikkelsen crowned 2019 Speedway Euro champion by winning not only the meeting but also a runoff with Gregory Laguta to win the title itself. It has been quite some night. We will see the top three on the night on the podium. First of all, I imagine, which will be Pavel Shepelski. What a fantastic night's work by him to come third on the night. There is Madsen along with Shepelski. And here comes Pavel Shepelski, a young Pole who came through the ranks to Torun. Maybe his career stalled a little over the last couple of years, putting himself back on the big stage here tonight with third place in the Speedway Euro Championship round, and putting himself, I'm sure, in people's frame. Although he's not finished in the top five, people will be saying, well, okay, come back next year, Pavel, perhaps.
Yeah, he was a class act here tonight. He was pretty much almost stole the show, really, at the end of it all. He had the opportunity. Yeah, exactly.
Finished the series with 26 points, did Pavel Shepelski, which 27, I should say, which put him up in the top 8. Nicky Pedersen was in 7th place, and Michael Jepsen-Jensen was the man who just missed out on the top 5. Second on the night for Leon Madsen, a constant battling contender, always looked very quick indeed. And second, as I say, on the night for Leon, the outgoing series champion, another podium finish. He specialises in them in this competition. Another very strong year for him.
Absolutely. And his wish was to get on the podium, and he's done that.
Achieved it. Yeah, very much achieved it in the meeting itself and in the series. And of course, he's got a big night next weekend in Torun, where, as we said, he's the outsider, but strange things happen in title dividers. We've seen it ourselves.
That's right.
So he has to just, in that meeting, he has to just keep chipping away and see what happens in front of him. But here's Mikkel Mikkelsen, the first of 2 celebrations for him. Back-to-back wins in Speedway Euro Championship round. It's hard work, it can be done, we've seen it done before, and he joins that list of riders who've done it. Boyens with a breakthrough, this was hard work, and he made it work. Congratulations from Madsen and Shepelski, and the meeting winners trophy for Mikkel Mikkelsen. I hope they've got the Danish national anthem ready, because we should be hearing it twice, I think, this evening. Winner of the 4th round, winner of the final round, and photography, photos being taking place on the centre green for the 3 podium finishers in the meeting. Well done to Pavel Shepelski, Leon Madsen and Mikkel Mikkelsen. Plenty of fans here have moved towards a central location. There's a huge Casper Verina banner up on the back straight, just at the top right of his picture there. And unfortunately for him, heartbreak for him in the final, and indeed in his run off the third with Madsen. There's Mikkel Mikkelsen getting plenty of additions to his mantelpiece.
Yeah, it's hard to swallow when you have a mechanical problem. You do all the hard work, and that's just sometimes the things you can't avoid.
So the fireworks go off for the meeting victory for Mikkel Mikkelsen, and indeed the top 3, Leon Madsen and Pavel Shepelski. Just waiting whether we're going to get the anthem now or whether we'll do that for the series. Danish national anthem for Mikkel Mikkelsen, the winner of round 4 of the Speedway Euro Championship. We will hear that again very shortly when we get the presentations for the series itself. So the three of them make their way off the rostrum. Though we need Mikkel and Leon to stay around a bit longer. Pavel Szpilski gets a rostrum finish in the 4th round, the best night of his campaign by a distance in this series. Great night's work for him. And now we will get quickly round to the series presentations. A fascinating series once again. We had 3 rounds in 5 weeks earlier in the summer in Güstrow, Torun and Boyens, and then we had to wait till the end of September for the final round here in this fantastic Slaski Stadium, and well, it has produced drama all the way to the end, the very end, and the run-off to decide the title. And Grigory Laguta is standing at the back of the presentation area. You can probably just see the guy in the pink Kevlars, and understandably, just a bit of a moment to collect himself.
Yeah. Some hot racing out there now. It's cooled right down, though, isn't it, though?
Certainly has. It was a really nice day, actually. Really bright and sunny and quite warm in the sunshine. Has cooled down now for the evening. So here we go with the top 3 in the series, and Leon Madsen couldn't quite defend the title. He finished 6 points off the lead despite missing a round, so you can fill in the gaps if you think what might have happened if he had ridden in Boyens, but that is Speedway. He's still got a 3rd place out of it. So it's a bronze for Leon Madsen. Who knows, it could be bronze again next week for him in Torun, but as we've said, plenty more drama could come there before that's all worked out. He still has had a fine season in the Speedway Euro Championship, and he's just presented himself with his prize, I think. Grigory Laguta, 2nd place. Well, 2nd place is a great achievement in a field this close, and he knows how close he was. He'll be going to bed tonight wondering just how it slipped away across the last couple of rounds, just how he's been reeled back in by Mikkel Mikkelsen. He gets the commiserations, I suspect, from Leon Madsen. It is 2nd for Laguta, the 2011 European champion. Couldn't quite see it through in this season. Of course, he finished 3rd in 2013, when you go right back to the days when Martin Vaclik was a winner, and Laguta on the podium that season behind Vaclik and Nicky Pedersen. 4th in 2016. So he's the nearly man, really, of this campaign. 2nd this year, his best under the current format. He'll have to try again in 2020, because Mikkel Mikkelsen is going to indelibly mark his signature on the Speedway Euro Championship here in Horzów with victory in the 2019, his 2nd year in the series full time, and what a job he's made of it overall. Really has been, to say, the addition to the series last year when he finished in 4th place, scored 40 points. This year he scored 45, and that's a winning score.
Absolutely. Come down to the pressure too.
Pressure or runoff.
Yeah, pressure for the runoff.
Gets the champion's race jacket, and as we said, very popular. In the stadium, in the pits, and just trying to get the race jacket on. And then he's got plenty more gifts to be given, I think. I don't know if he's got plenty of space in his van tonight. But, yeah, again, Sam, what a series. You know, four rounds of contrasting fortunes. You'd never known quite how it's going to go. We see it so often. This series is such a leveler.
Yeah, well, the thing of it is the quality of riders that are in it. You know, there's no outright standout guy that's going to win everything right from the start to the finishes. Or you just don't know. You get some of the track favorites, some of the superstars in local towns that compete in it, kind of stir things up, and you get the top guys.
Well, yeah,
absolutely. You get the guys that you know that can win and then have bad nights, and then it opens up the doors.
There are your top three for 2019. Certainly a series we'll remember. Leon Madsen, Gregory Laguta, and Mikkel Mikkelsen. Danish national anthem for the Speedway Euro Champion 2019, Mikkel Mikkelsen. 45 points, the same as Gregory Laguta, 6 more than Casper Verina, and a run-off victory for Mikkel Mikkelsen over Laguta, who was in front at the start of the race up to the fourth bend. Then it went wrong. Mikkelsen took full advantage, and he becomes champion. It has been quite a night, quite a dramatic night in Horshoff, and an amazing final, going to run-offs for third place and first place. So here is the trophy being presented before it being inscribed. Mikkel Mikkelsen, the 2019 Speedway Euro champion. Gregory Laguta on what might have been picture. I think he's happy with his night's work. The champagne's about to flow here in Horshoff. It has been dramatic, it's been sensational, it was an amazing finale, and Mikkel Mikkelsen is the 2019 Speedway Euro champion.
Congratulations.
Celebrations on the podium, and Mikkel Mikkelsen, and fair play to Laguta joining in with the party at this point, because it has been a gutting experience for him to get so close. But the contrast of emotions is clear as the fireworks go off, the smoke goes out. It's Mikkelsen's night, Mikkelsen's year. Yeah,
tremendous atmosphere here too at Horshoff, and one thing for sure is we haven't had the referees intervening much in this so far, so it was a perfect night.
Under 21s to come on Friday, don't forget about that in Checo. We'll see what goes on there. But yeah, well, you get a slightly damp NT night if you win something. I'm sure he'll be okay with that. It's Leon Madsen and Gregory Laguta on the podium with Mikkel Mikkelsen, and it's yeah.
Well, at least they're getting warmed up down there.
Well, yeah, I hope. Quite possibly, because it is quite chilly now. Here's how it finished. Mikkel Mikkelsen, the winner in a run-off over Gregory Laguta, 45 points apiece. Madsen third over Verina in a run-off, 39 apiece. Bartosz Maktala, 36 in the top 5, back next year. What a year, Sam.
Absolutely, it's been fun all the way through.
Don't forget, Pardubice on Friday for the under-21s. That's a decider as well. Well done, Mikkel Mikkelsen, Speedway Euro champion.
Good night.